Howdy, people. Okay, it's weird. Nobody's answering me. And I'm lagging, and that really pisses me off. So, to just start talking so I don't feel like I'm talking to myself, because I know I am. First of all, I have to turn this music down because it's kind of driving me nuts. Give me 2 seconds. And I'll go over the agenda first of all, just to get that out of the way. I am, first of all, it's kind of trippy because it's 2. And I thought that was kind of cool. But if you notice, I'm here by myself, and I see most of you already seen that Yankee posted that he is out for the night. So we will go it alone without him, as bad as I hate to. So I'm going to start down the list. Yankee was the first actually to comment, and then Bobby, hey. Lee, hey. Sounds like you guys will be in and out. That's cool. Fly Crew, hey. No, he's not going to be like Pat, because I'm fucking meaner than Rick, so I'll whoop his ass. And I don't care how big he is. And it's not Lee's birthday, Tracy, but I'm sure she appreciates it. It's one of the kids' birthdays. And Bobby, hey. And Tracy, hey. And Jason, hey. So some of the things that I kind of had onto the agenda, I'm sure there's other things that you guys all have and want to do, and that's cool. We'll do those. But I know you guys seen something about stones, and this is going to be a little morbid, but I want to clean gravestones, and I'm going to do it. So that's something we're going to discuss tonight. Yay, football's over last week, and the Olympics are over, so yay. And then we got a Rumble account. I'm really excited about that. Bobby's friend makes gravestones. That's kind of cool. Lee is 48, but it's not her. Yeah, she's 13. And I'm 29. So there, we got that out of the way. It is a worthy cause. Okay, so some of the other things that that looks like the Ottawa Convoy is basically done. Don't look like there's a whole lot going on there. There's a few still there, but looks like they're over it. And then I wanted to talk about shit that I see go on the ring, notifications that I get about the weird break-ins. Some really weird one that we'll talk about. So anyways, that's the whole kit and caboodle. And of course, we got to tell jokes, because it's nothing without jokes. And I've sat here and babbled and didn't give the freaking link, because that's how I roll. So I'll give it right now. If you don't want to come on yet, it's fine. I'll figure out some way to babble to myself, which is not that big a deal, because I do it every day. And let me go to YouTube. And pin that. Oh shit. I gotta get out of there. Now we won't hear me talk twice. Yeah, I'm good, all right. I'm looking good, thank you. Okay, there it is. Um, we're there. It's pinned at the top, I think. We'll have to go. There. God, YouTube, it's like it's got like, or it's as bad as my computer. It's so maybe that's why it's slow. Okay, so now I can go out of YouTube and go back here. Okay. Thank you. We've got her and Rick. What? Is it just family stones or specific gravestones? No, it's not family stones actually. It is, I want to do the ones that are way old that nobody ever touches. I think that, you know, everybody needs to be remembered. So even those ones from 1902, so that the families are completely gone. In fact, it's easier to do those ones because you don't have to get the permission from the family so much as you do from the cemetery, so, or whoever runs this cemetery. So sorry, I was reading Bobby's comment. Okay, so anyways, those are some of the things that I planned on discussing. One of them being, let's start with cleaning gravestones, just because. And when anybody wants to come in, you're more than welcome to. We'll start here. Maybe. I feel like that's not a good one, but I don't really want to do as gravestone as cleaning gravestones as a business. I really just want to clean them. I don't really care too much about getting paid for it. I don't think that should be what it's all about. I mean, who knows? But at this point, no, it's just to do my thing. I didn't realize that gravestones could be a little picky on how you clean them. And certain ones you shouldn't clean, especially those way older ones if they're broken or crumbling, like, well, not so much if they're broken, but if they're crumbling really bad, you shouldn't try to clean them. And for whatever you do, don't put bleach on a stone. It'll ruin them. I learned that. And they have shit for it, but it's a little expensive. So, but I already got, I think, a hookup, because I think my oldest son's going to hook me up with some to be able to start cleaning. Yeah. And what else? Why is my mouse doing that? Okay. Tuppy sent me this link, and it was on what they call rehoming children. And I know you think, gosh, that sounds like adopting or children or something. Well, it is, but it's actually when the adopted ones don't want them no more. They then, I think, kind of give them to the highest bidder. It seemed a little strange to me, so everybody ought to check that out. I do have some links on it, because it just seemed a little odd to me that I know that's something that's gonna freak Lee out big time. Um, is the whole passing out kids thing. Excuse me. Is Yankee's dog okay? Yankee's dog is okay. Hey, dude, how are ya?
All right, all right. Yeah, Yank, prayers and all to them. I just want to say you're not alone tonight. I have actually an open guest chair as well. Awesome to see you up here, keeping the podcast going.
Oh, hell yeah. I can't shut my mouth, so there's no sense in me stopping the podcast.
No doubt. I put up a nice new backdrop. Amanda's healing in the back. Hopefully Yank's doing all right. And I got to go do some dishes like a good little boy. But I'm going to be listening in the background for like the next 20 minutes, and then I'll be back, sweetheart.
So Amanda's got the whip going.
She's got the neck brace on and stuff.
No, but she's whipping you. You're going to do dishes.
I always do. That's my job, especially. That's why I'm home. So I'm not chipping ice tonight. I'm taking care of the pretty lady.
Good.
You know?
All right. We'll see you in a bit.
You got it. Great to see you tonight. I'll catch
Thanks
you
for
in just
coming.
a bit. Oh, always. And hey, chat people. What's up, gutter people?
Yep, they're all here.
Awesome.
Well, they're getting here anyway. Fly Crew's here. Lee was here earlier, but I don't think she's came back since I came live.
And that's wild. Marketing children. What
I
is
know.
going on with that? And the Ring doorbells, that helped me debunk an FBI report right here in my own neighborhood. And it's going on around the world. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Oh, God bless you for
French.
keeping it going. Everybody got to give a shout out to Gutter, huh? It takes a lot to get up here all by yourself and hang out. But this is why they're awesome. It's good to see you. It feels like a Tuesday.
We're going to get through it one way or the other.
All right, girl. I'll see you in just a bit.
Okay.
All righty.
Okay. Hi, Ash. Notice that even though it says Ashley, I still call you Ash. Okay, Jason. Andy, I wanted to see what you had said here. Yeah. Oh, but first to answer Tracy's question, Yank is okay. He's just he's just needs to get to healing up. Yank's a big guy, and as I said, giants fall hard. Let's just put it that way. So, but he's gonna be fine. We just got to keep him up and moving, which ain't easy when you're hurting and you got to move that tall of a and that big of a building around, which is what it would seem like to me, trying to move around, being 6'4", and he's a good sized man. So anyways, hello Justine. Viva Fry is live. Canada's Congress is worse than ours. Yep. Calling the protests worse than a tourist. I know. Are they nuts? Trying to deny bail. I think it was the mayor trying to sell trucks under emergency powers. Yep. They're doing all kinds of stuff that just seems ass backwards. But we're going to be sitting in the same boat here in the good old USA if we don't straighten out and fly right, so to speak. Get our shit together. Get organized. Andy. A man packed up a hooker. They got undressed. The hooker started laughing and asked, "What are you going to do with that little organ?" He said, I didn't know I was going to have to play in a cathedral. That's funny. I like that one. Good job. Okay, so maybe I will pull up my shit here. Just give me a second, because I'm not nearly as good at this as Rick, but I'll give it a whirl. There it is. Oh shit, I got it on the wrong one. Okay, there. Why isn't that working? That's weird. I thought I could cut and paste it onto Word and then go back to it and click on it and it would open right up in the link. This just pissing me off. Just a second. I won't let the comments get too far ahead of me here. Okay. No, where's the one that Tuppy had? Tuppy sent me a really good one. I think it's on Facebook. Let me look here. Okay. Sorry, I know. I'm being super quiet, and this is absolutely fucking awkward. Okay. Where is it? There she is. Right here. Okay, I'm not gonna... Oh, that ain't that. I'm not gonna play the whole thing when I do get it here. I'll just play part of it, and then if you guys want it, I'll make sure to put the link in the description so you can see it. Maybe, because I'm really not all that techie. Okay. Super quiet. Somebody fucking say something. Jesus. Okay. Troy, quit. Stop. Okay. I think I found it. Oh, she sent me that one too, but I ain't doing that one. Okay. This one was just really trippy. Here we go. Let me go shut off the music. Oh, shh. Shush. Let me... There. Okay. Back to comments. And now I will share my screen. And I think it's 2. Yep. Okay. Yay. Watch me. Fuck yeah, check me out. Okay, here we go.
This story will surely change your mind.
Can you hear it?
A trade in unwanted children exists, and the way they do it is distressing. It's known as rehoming, and when parents decide they no longer want their adopted child, they simply advertise them on websites to lure prospective new parents. It's as straightforward as getting rid of an old fridge on eBay. There's no vetting or court orders required, and these disposable children can be handed over to anyone. In fact, until you see it, it's difficult to believe, and we should warn you, it's quite confronting.
First up, we have Alicia. Alicia is a very special and very sweet
Is that better?
lady who is looking for her forever family. She describes herself.
It's a parade like no other. Abandoned children desperately selling themselves to win over a new family, a new start.
She also likes drawing and doing arts and crafts.
And in the audience, sizing them up to find a perfect match, are their potential parents.
Okay, Michaela, you look that is that girl.
Travelling to this so-called matching event today is Tom, a teacher with no children, who is interested in 14-year-old Frank, given up by his adopted family 2 years ago and now living in a care home.
Today is important because I get a chance to kind of be a part of something, part of a family that I've been waiting to be a part of for a very long time now.
If something happens, then we'll pursue it, and if not a big deal. Nothing gained, nothing lost.
But Frank is anxious to make something happen. He has much to lose and only 2 hours to convince Tom he's worthy of adoption.
I'm trying to show him the brightest aspects of me and to let him know what the darkest ones are.
Frank has sold himself well. Tom agrees to give his new son a trial run and will collect him in 15 days' time.
Thank you. Do the same.
But 6 months later, Tom decides they're not compatible. And again, Frank can only hope and wait to find a family who wants him forever. To see those children trying to sell themselves to find a forever family, what does that do to your stomach?
Oh, it turns it. It is appalling that we get to a place as unseemly as this. Appalling.
It is distressing, tragic, and completely legal. Here in the US, it's a phenomenon known as rehoming, where, along with matching events, troubled kids are advertised like goods on eBay and given to anyone who'll take them. Mostly they're adopted and often wear the scars of abuse and neglect. Most disturbingly, their parents have decided they no longer want them. It could be here in New York City.
It could be in New York. It could be in Boston.
For Adam Pertman, from the Boston-based National Center on Adoption and Permanency, rehoming is the heartless result of desperation.
Desperate people do stupid things and desperate things. There should be legal structures and social structures and professionals who know what the hell they're doing around all of this. If we don't protect vulnerable children, who do we protect?
It's an underground trade in children that could be happening in any suburb across America. It's estimated that there is something like 24,000 foreign adoptees who are no longer with their adopted families. And as we've seen, there are countless more waiting to be rehomed. To rehome a child here is breathtakingly easy. Parents who no longer want their kids simply sign them over to those who do. And that could be anyone. A desperate, loving parent in waiting, or a monster.
I think it's often that the child doesn't meet the expectations of the family. And so instead of working with a child, they're trying to rehome them.
Get rid of them.
Dispose of them.
Megan Exon has 5 adopted children, 2 through rehoming.
Look at the little girl in her ballet costume with her flower in her hair. I don't know how you can give a child up.
As well, Megan is all too aware that not everyone who seeks out these children can be trusted. And what about the people who might be looking at these photos? Who might they be?
Well, it could be anyone. We know from experience it can be pedophiles and people who are liars and cheats.
Well, This is like a shopping list for a pedophile.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
17-year-old Poppy knows the awful truth through first-hand experience. Like an unwanted pet, Poppy's former adoptive...
This one here breaks. This one breaks my heart. I have a hard time watching her. But we will if y'all want to. I can stop it if you don't want to continue to watch. But it is, I mean, it's not like nothing rude happens. It just pulls on your heartstrings. So we can continue to watch it. I don't know if you guys can see. It's like freaking 16 minutes long. But we can start and stop it. And I think as long as I'm discussing shit about it, I'll be fine. I can't get in trouble for whatever it is. It's the Fair Use Act or whatever the hell it is. If Rick was here, he could tell me. Anyways.
Rehomed her when she was just 7 years old. They delivered her to Nicole and Calvin Eason, a couple they met in an adoption chat room who have since been exposed as serial pedophiles. Here, Nicole is caught discussing rehoming.
A family looks for another family, internet, word of mouth, a friend.
And her not-so-gentle approach to parenting.
I smack them in the mouth, and I've gotten them with a spatula. I have no regrets about it, no complaints about it.
The day that you were sent to the Easons' home, what was that like?
Scary.
What was scary about it?
Being dropped off by people who I thought that were family and not being able to see them anymore.
So this was your mum and dad, who you considered to be your mum and dad.
Mm-hmm.
And did you understand why you were being sent away?
No. I was told that that we were going on a little road trip, and that's all they told me.
Poppy and...
I don't know how you can do that. I was way too... I don't know. I mean, my kids used to tell me all the time, Mom, you're mean. And I used to say, well, if I'm mean to you, then you won't be a big baby when you get out there in the real world and they're mean to you. But this is just... I don't get it. I don't understand. Anyways, Fly Crew, you're right. I don't know if I can get a copyright strike for it, because I think, as long as I'm discussing it, I think that it's okay. But if not, I guess I better get that other page up and going. So I hate being censored, but I don't want to do anything wrong either. I don't want to just use somebody else's work. I want, it's about getting the information out there to people is kind of how I feel about it. So it's not about using somebody's work to except for to let everybody know. So.
Another child from another family, 14-year-old Dimitri, would now experience the very worst of rehoming. What happened in that house?
A lot of things that shouldn't have happened.
How would you describe the Easons?
Scum, uncaring, heartless, self-serving, selfish.
Lynn Banks, an adoptive parent herself and a crusader against adoption scammers, uncovered the Easons online and was immediately alarmed. Did you spot that it was a fake as soon as you saw it?
Yes, they were trying to take kids into their home under false pretenses.
This shows how easily the Easons con people. This document is meant to reassure parents who no longer want their children that they've given them to the right people. It's a safety assessment signed off by social workers. But the Easons was pure fiction. when you became suspicious of the Easons, did you become obsessed with tracking them down and stopping them?
It was the right thing to do. And I couldn't turn around and walk away from that. You know, who else was going to do it?
Lynn discovered the Easons' own children had been removed from them due to
This is
neglect
old.
and suspected abuse.
This is clear back from like
She
2018.
told police as the Easons moved across the country of the kids they collected on the way. How similar was the story from state to state?
Very similar. They were doing damage. They
So-
weren't getting.
Just it is from 2018, but I have looked it up and it's continued to go on. It's actually started, well, I found articles clear back in 2013, 2010, with this kind of same shit going on. It has been going on, and I'm pretty sure it's still going on just as much today.
Caught. They were free to move on.
Can you explain to me how Dimitri and Poppy were placed with the Easons?
Well, I mean, they met on our group.
Megan Exon ran a chat room set up to support other adoptive parents. Unaware of their background, she welcomed the Easons and introduced them to the other families. But tracking their every online move, Lynn alerted Megan immediately.
Well, I know for a fact that she has an 8-year-old and a 14-year-old from our group. We introduced them.
Just 2 weeks before this call, Poppy and Dimitri's parents had dumped them with Nicole and Calvin Eason. Lynn's phone call was confronting and devastating.
A pedophile?
Ugh.
Is this Calvin?
After having that conversation with Lynn, what did you do next?
The first thing I did was I called the parents, and according to them, they couldn't come for their children. And I decided if nobody else was going to go for them, that I would.
Shame on them in a big way. There are some parents that will walk away and not look back. It's an ugly world at times, let me tell you.
With no guarantees that the Easons would hand over the children, Megan immediately set off on a 10-hour mercy dash to right her mistake.
The house was ramshackle on the outside. It had garbage bags. It had animal feces. It had urine in the front.
So you go up to the door and you meet a fairly imposing man, I'd imagine. He's 6'2".
Yes, I'm 5 feet tall. I just said, I'm here for the children. And he said, well, you can't have them. And I said, no, Calvin, you can't have them. You don't have a right to them.
Lynn describes that decision as very brave. Do you feel brave?
No, I feel stupid.
Why is that?
Because I helped put them in that position.
What did you think of somebody coming and rescuing you in that way?
I thought she was a hero of what she was doing.
You thought she was a hero? Poppy suffered what no one should, especially a 7-year-old abandoned child.
She was certainly molested. Nicole and Calvin walked around naked. They wanted the children to sleep in bed with them. They had the children watch pornography, and as though it were a family movie.
So moved by Poppy's experience, Megan adopted her, and Dimitri found a family too. Although she was now safe, for a long time, Poppy blamed herself for being dumped by the people she knew as her mum and dad, who she could only recently face again. So you met up with your adoptive parents, your first adoptive parents. What was that like?
I felt guilt that I did something to them to make them do that to me, because I didn't understand why. She told me she didn't think that she was capable of taking care of me anymore.
Have you forgiven her for not coming and rescuing you?
Not quite yet.
Incredibly, even after Poppy was saved, the Easons continued rehoming children. It took Lynn Banks nearly a decade of collecting evidence against them.
When they continued to get to do it, they didn't. I mean, really, they get to continue to do it. They don't have to. I mean, nobody made them stop. I don't understand it. Only because of this woman did they end up having to stop, because she pushed it. Absolutely nuts. Insert commentary. So I did it right, Bobby, right? This is nuts. Sorry, Amanda. I can stop it. I mean, there's like 4 minutes left. It does get better, but it's definitely, I mean, I can by all means stop it. It's not something that, I have to continue to let go. I mean, I totally get it. But yeah, I mean, I can stop it now if you want, Amanda. That's not a problem. There's only 4 minutes left, 3 minutes left. So, but it's, I mean, pretty much at the end. So, well, these guys want to see it through. So, but please don't go, Amanda, because I think it'll be a lot of fun. And I mean, this is not normally, we don't just sit and talk about serious shit. We do have tons of fun. This is just part of what we do.
Before the FBI acted, with the aid of her testimony, 2 months ago, the Easons were each sentenced to 40 years in jail for their
it's worth
crimes
listening,
against
Amanda.
children.
I just can't imagine being in a home with them, and I just can't imagine being a little person under somebody's control like that, and the people having their way with you, and I just can't imagine.
In all, Lynn's unwavering decade-long pursuit of the Easons resulted in 11 children being saved. Today, for the first time, she gets to meet one of them. How are you feeling about saying Poppy and Megan?
I think it's going to hit home now. Yeah.
What's hitting home?
Oh, they're real. Those kids were real.
Stop. She certainly is real, and here she is.
She is.
Hey, this is Megan.
Hi, Megan.
Oh, hi, Lynn.
Oh,
This is my daughter, Poppy.
can I hug you? I'm so glad to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. I'm glad to meet you too.
Oh,
To see Poppy in person is to be reminded.
It did this
of why
last
Lynn
time to me
did
too.
what she did.
Gave me chills,
I
cried,
wanted to do
tears.
this for a long time.
To save precious lives from the most vile people.
I'm just glad you're safe. Yeah.
Let's go get the eggs.
Come on,
Having found her forever family with Megan, Marty, and her 4 adopted brothers and sisters, Poppy has been given a chance to live a life she deserves. What do you think of adults who are able to leave their children with strangers, who can just leave a child and walk away?
They're disgusting, and that they don't deserve kids themselves.
Do you think rehoming should be allowed in this country?
I hate that everybody's in that position. I think it needs to be regulated so that it's safe for the kids. But the child needs to heal from the rejection and the abandonment and the trauma. They have every right to walk this earth healed. That's it.
So, pretty good stuff in the sense of she saved her. The thought that they have to, that these kids like that have to endure that stuff just makes me not be able to sleep at all. The first night I watched it, I couldn't sleep. So, I do understand what you're saying, Amanda, because it is really hard to watch. Let me stop screen sharing. There. Okay. That was fun. What's next? I know, Michael. Hey, I got this shit all planned out, dude. I worked at this. Okay. So the next thing is, I don't know if everybody's on Rumble, but y'all need to come check us out because we are. There's Bobby.
What's up, sweetheart?
And how are ya?
I'm all right.
See, all of a sudden I get
I
like
moved all the curtain over. Hold on. Look at this shit.
I'm telling you, dude. Don't you love mine?
I didn't know. Amanda told me it was a backdrop tonight. I was like, get the hell out of here. I got the hiccups. Pardon, folk.
Well, check mine. Do you see what mine is?
The barn doors. Yeah. That's badass.
That's a shower curtain, dude.
Get the hell out of here.
It is.
I finally got permission to put screw holes in the ceiling. So I did.
Oh, I didn't need screw holes. See, it's a shower curtain, so it's super light. All you need is tacks. Ta-da! I'm the cheapest broad you'll ever see when it comes to shit like that. I don't like to spend. That's why
my OBS was zoomed in way more. Why does this look like that? I gotta put in 2 more. Unbelievable. Whatever, chat.
Oh, yeah. Or what you do is you move it closer. If you notice, I just left mine. The only reason I cover mine up, I mean, it's all organized back there, but it's just a closet and my Christmas shit. So it's behind there because my husband needs to put the Christmas shit up in the attic. And
I gotcha.
Yeah, I'm not exposing that whole.
We're moving, and I owned a 10-room house, and we're in a 1-bedroom apartment. So there's a lot of stuff that's half unpacked, but we're packing back up. So, and I'm sick of explaining it. In the hotel, it's nice, but here I'm like, I'm sick of explaining it. It looks like a meth head den, meth heads and their alarm clock parts.
Yeah.
But oh, here comes Amanda for 2 seconds.
Oh my goodness! Be careful. Okay, so hi.
Hey.
I almost feel like if I talk too loud, it's gonna hurt.
No. I'm
so,
good.
So what did tell everybody what happened? What you did?
Spinal fusion, level 1. So they took the bad disc out. They put in a plate with like a spacer. They took marrow from my right hip and put it on the spacer to stimulate bone growth. So, yeah.
All of it sounds painful.
I'm doing good though. I got it done on Friday. I spent
She's a champ.
24 hours in the hospital. They're like, "You want to stay?" And I was like, "No."
Yeah.
No thanks.
Every one of my kids, I went in and had them, and they were like, "Okay, you can stay a little longer if you want." I'm like, "No, I can't. Get me the hell out of here."
Yeah, the girl's like, "You need a walker?" And I was like, "For what? Get that out of here."
But I gotta be careful. If I leave her alone, she tries superwoman things she's not supposed to be doing.
No, I'm doing just fine.
I'm here more as supervision than to aid her. Although she rightfully owns the handle to the whip. And you know what? If I'm whipped by this woman, that's a good life. You know?
You need to get you one of those remote controls. My aunt always said that women need the remote control to the man, and it kind of zaps them like they wear a collar, and when they don't do what you say.
Okay. Wait. All right.
Yeah. I'll put a collar on you.
I got claw bells, the good old school claw bells. Each one has a different frequency, means something different.
Could you imagine, though? I would love it. Marvin, there's so many times when he ignores what the fuck I'm saying. I'm like, zzz. I know if I could just have that remote and be able to just give him a little zap every now and then, he would learn much quicker.
Unbelievable. Do you hear this, chat?
I want to try this.
No. You got enough? I'm right here. Yes, ma'am. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I know, but it's kind of, there's also the, the fun of watching you guys flop on the floor. I mean, there is that.
Yeah. Come on, just once.
What? That would be a different platform.
A little deeper in the gut.
Yeah, that's a different platform. It starts with you, ends with an N.
Jeez.
We got a little ways to go before then. I said that was the last time little lady talks back. I'm not allowed back in that hospital. I'm just kidding. When she gets out of that neck brace, if y'all don't hear from me again, it was completely justified.
On my end.
Yeah.
So did you see what Flight Crew just said? Said
What?
short topic.
Oh.
Trump's social media platform just launched this week for
Yes.
Apple. Truth Social.
Unfortunately, I did not invest back last year before DWAC. It's pretty funny. That's the ticker symbol for it, DWAC, DWAC. When they merged, that stock price went up immensely. I think today it went up 14 points. I threw a couple of more bucks at it because today is the second day it's been. No, today is the second day. It launched Monday. So it's one of two things. I knew there's enough of a Trump cult to have downloaded it, and that will boost the prices a bit. But at the same time, I don't know if there's so many people that hate the man. I don't know that it will ever rival Facebook or Twitter, you know. And not everything you say is the truth. You know, there's no censorship on it, I guess, which could be a good thing or a bad thing.
Well,
I'm
it's
finally
kind of
back
like I said. It's kind of like I said before. There, when they say no censorship, well, I don't want to see like weird shit like cut up babies or
or the same echo chamber.
Outlandish. Well, and I mean, if somebody wants to do, I don't know. I don't know. I like this whole thing with the copyright thing. It makes no freaking sense to me. I mean, if they're doing a live stream somewhere and their music is playing, they have to shut that shit down immediately or they get a strike. I mean, it's not a second. They don't want you playing it at all. Not at all. And even if you try to shut it down quicker, they can give you a copy strike. And they've been doing it. So
well, that's why if you noticed, I put in the description of that highlight reel. I'm glad you liked it. That was fun.
I love
tried
it.
to throw some
Thank
things
you.
together, but I had to put there's attributions you have to put in and give some credit, so it's free to use, but you give credit to the creators. That's why if you notice in the video I put up, it had all the extra links with Malt Shop and the creator of it.
I see.
When it comes to
I need
things
to figure all that shit out.
When it comes to like music and stuff that's copyrighted, as long as you're talking over it, I think it's every 30 seconds. If you leave 30 seconds of it or more, they'll hit you with a copyright strike.
Shit.
As far as news,
That's
There's
different.
the Fair Use Act. That's why I was like, when you got to a certain point of it, I was like, add commentary, and you
Okay.
were on your ones and twos,
Right. Okay.
because we're
Oh.
discussing that, and it's going to get to a point. I'm telling you all right now, sharing news stories or showing news stories like that, the way we do the clips of it, they're gonna pull the copyright shit. And it's not because they care about the revenue. If they cared about views, they wouldn't be lying to the people so much. It's censorship. It's a quiet censorship tactic. This is copyrighted. You shared this much of it, and it's gonna come for all images. They do it with memes and for news stories. You won't be able to live stream a segment of CNN because they'll say this is copyrighted.
Yeah.
Amanda's gonna go sit down.
Thank you for coming and saying hi, Annie. And be careful.
I will.
I'm gonna help her up. Hang on, give me 1 second. And we got Nick from Trash Culture here tonight.
She's gonna knock you out, dude.
Yeah, I know. I know. I deserve it. It's okay.
I can just tell she's got that thing going like, don't fucking touch me, back the hell off, and just leave me alone. I can do this
Well,
myself.
there wasn't much I could do without. Yeah, if I adjust in any way that moves the neck, it's I got to be very careful and gentle.
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, Nick. How are you?
Hello. By the way, not every woman should have a remote. I'm just saying. Not every. A lot should.
Oh, flying out the gate.
But not who I was just with.
My husband would say I shouldn't, but I believe I should.
Oh.
I think so too.
My ex didn't need a remote.
Too. And Amanda. Yep.
Oh, I don't know. Until you've seen one in my hand, I mean, you'd probably retract on that. I'm pretty ornery. Okay, so I better answer. Michael, yes. Yankee, he is going to be down for a little bit because he's about a 6'4" man, and he went ahead and took it all the way down to the ground, and so he gonna be out for just a little while. So we're just gonna give him some space, let's say.
I wasn't sure how much we were allowed to disclose. Yankee, I hope you're healing
I
up
just
all right,
kind of,
brother.
yeah. I don't want to sit and I kind of want to talk shit about my partner because remember the deal is if you ain't here, we gonna talk shit about you.
No touchy touchy. No touchy touchy.
Yeah, no touchy touchy. But if he was here, he'd be like, "Oh, yes, it is."
Is that peach? This is peach. It's banana lemon shake. I don't know.
How do I work this?
Just
You
pull
already to see somebody choke on live
just pull
YouTube?
it.
What is that?
It's a vape.
Oh.
Trying not to smoke cigarettes. You want to hit it again?
No, not at all.
Why? What does it taste
I'm
like?
lucky my lungs are still in my chest.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
Well, so what's going on? These people are adoptive parents, and we can't forget about chat. Hey, chat people. But back to reiterate what we had just watched. So they get sick of the adopted kids, and then they auction them off and get new ones. Is that the gist of what I'm getting from that?
Yeah, that basically there's a couple other ones I did actually save on it.
There's
Articles
Amanda in
regarding
there.
and she's like, "Leave me alone."
What did I do? You went from one side of the curtain to the other. I gotta fix this backdrop.
Sorry.
So
now you can hear boom, ow, and then you can hear bzzz. Sorry.
Oh God.
As you were saying,
scary.
gotta.
So, anyways, yeah, the way I take it is it's like they're rehoming a puppy. I mean, I don't get it. I mean, I don't think you should be mean or, shuffle animals around either, but hello, these are kids.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you got to give them a sense of roots, a background. I mean, that's why military brats always complain that they moved, never really got to establish friends, a family, no home.
It messes up their psyche, to be honest with you.
Well, and I don't know if you if you watched it from the very beginning, but it showed where they were literally walking them up and down the aisle like they're modeling. I mean, are you fucking serious?
Yeah, they're property. They're treating them like property.
This is David. Walks down there.
Yeah.
Anybody want this?
After that,
Yeah.
I heard some of them abused them sexually. It's sick.
That's kind of like in how they used to do in China. Apparently, in China, they had people like at one point they had butcher shops where they would, because they did euthanasia, they would bring out two kids, a boy or a girl, and they would say, "What body part of the meat do you want?" And I was just like, "Oh God." And that the only reason why I know that because I was watching a documentary on, I don't know if you know Albert Fish is, but he's a serial killer. And yeah, either way, they did that in China. And it made me think of that when you said that. That's like,
this is why we own guns, gun people.
It's a little ridiculous.
Yeah, boy, I wonder what Canadians are thinking now. Holy shit, what a mess.
I'm thinking it's shit. I mean, I'm not really I'm Canadian, but not. But yeah.
Well, what did they say was the biggest difference between Canadians and Americans? It's that Canadians aren't Americans. They're basically America without
really good maple syrup.
Well, they got good maple syrup.
I don't know. Right now, I can tell you that Canadians had way bigger balls than Americans did here for the last month. So,
without a doubt,
Americans.
Who would have known, right? Who would have thought that?
I mean, I think we probably should be taking lessons because those were some pretty big balls they had.
They've been sitting inside. I have a bunch of friends in Montreal because I used to live in Montreal for a little bit, and they're telling me now that everything's lifting because I asked them. My sister's like, I was gonna go back, and then my sister started showing me videos, and I'm like, oh. She's like, don't go. And I recently called my friends. I'm like, what's going on with horses and people getting beat by cops? And they're like, well, what are you talking about? I'm like, what do you mean? What am I talking about? Aren't you guys like still on curfew? Don't you still have a lockdown? They're like, that's over. Like everything else but Ottawa is opening up, which I find weird because I'll talk to people in different areas. I'll talk to people, be like, hey, what's going on here? And what's on the news and what they're telling me is different, which I don't understand.
Well, I never watch the news, so I immediately go to YouTube, and that's where I find shit out. I don't ever. My husband turns the TV on, and when he leaves to go to work, I go in and change the channel to a music channel, and then I shut it off because I don't want my TV stuck on, even on Fox. He watches Fox. I don't want him watching the other shit. So he watches Fox, but I don't even want it on that. It's all shit.
It's an amazing how informed you can stay without ever watching the news.
Yep.
It really is.
Yep.
I don't watch the news myself.
Way more informed.
Oh, yeah. Because we go to source material, not anonymous sources. And don't worry, Ashley, if you're still here, we'll end the discussion on the marketing of children. Let's check out the chat real quick. We got some.
Fly Crew says I'm 6 foot, and I took it to the ground once a few years ago, and it took about 4 or 5 staples to close that back up. Yeah.
Timber.
Yeah.
Oh boy, sorry to hear. Glad to hear you healed up all right.
It's one thing if you're 5'4" and you fall like me. I don't bounce worth shit either, but I'll guarantee you I bounce better than Yankee does.
It's like the old slavery auctions. Yep. That's why we have a problem with it. We have an issue with it.
Absolutely sickening.
Yep. We have guns. Yes.
Yes.
I don't own a gun, and my spray and protection device is almost out of bullets. Fly spray. Well, you could get bear spray,
any chemical you got under your sink. Spray that shit in the eyes. Trust me, they're gonna go the other way.
And it's not about the ignorant people saying we need nukes to fight the government and win. It's not about beating the government. That's the big misnomer. What it is once the world sees a government slaughtering its people, they're not going to be viewed in the eyes of the good guys. And Well, who's going to be left to govern if you have to slaughter the people? So
Mhm.
if everybody stands up against the government and refuses to be taken alive, you got no one left to govern. So
We're not going to be,
you know,
we're going to be controlled.
Fly Crew says the big thing in Canada is organized. We need a massive show of force, a
Yep.
massive group of people who can say, you can't arrest us all. And that's right. We
Absolutely.
do. We need everybody to balls up. This is where we all have to stand up, no matter how much you're conservative and you want to sit back and go, no, just chill out. It'll all calm down. Don't be acting like fucking orangutan out there. Everything will turn out right. It ain't going to
Nope.
do that this time.
No. And that's the biggest problem between the left and the right. I think people there, because there is cultures, the left and the right, they're both cults in my opinion. But the problem with conservatives or right-leaning individuals, we're more for individual liberties, and everybody has their right to their own opinion. So it's much different when you got left-wing liberal hive minds that are in like deeply indoctrinated in the cult. They'll organize on the snap of a dime. They all get their text messages, where to be, what to chant. The problem is the people like us who like people who think for themselves, we don't all agree on everything. So we don't organize like a beehive does.
Yep.
And it's much different with the show
Well-
of force. You know,
well,
most of us are ready to barricade in our own homes. You're not going to see us out there as much as the liberal hive mind burning down cities, you know.
But even in the last couple years, I mean, normally I would be like, oh no, I'm just going to sit back and I'll just vote and that'll be it. And, I'll do my part. And well, my part got bigger. Everybody's
Oh, yeah.
part needs to be bigger, because
Without a
if
doubt.
we don't, then we're not going to get it back. That's how come the Dems are where they're at, because everybody's part got bigger and they all fucking stuck with the shit. And look at what happened. They yanked that shit right out from underneath us. They didn't do it legally, but they did it.
Oh yeah. Oh, now they're pretending to care about jobs in the supply chain.
Oh fuck.
Where were you when you were labeling essential and non-essential? I got shut down. I was told I'm not allowed to go to work. I worked in New York City, which was not only the hot spot of the coronavirus at one point, it was the most, I would say they implemented the most tyrannical shutdown laws and orders. They separated people by vaccination. I'm technically a second-class citizen. I can't hold certain jobs. I'm not allowed to eat indoors. And the only difference is it mitigates my symptoms. They're like, oh, well, you protect others. That's a bald-faced lie.
Yeah.
We
We've
know
already- yeah,
that
they've
the
already proven
jabbo people spread it just as much as the unjabbed.
Yeah, probably more so. I haven't heard of many people that haven't had it, that haven't gotten it, that have that got sick. So I'm hearing the opposite of a lot of the other, and I live in the middle of Oregon. So, anyways, Amanda said she sprained her ankle in the ice there in Texas, and she ended up under her
Oh
car.
my goodness. I'm
Dude.
sorry to hear. I've been there. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, I think if I catch up here, I think she said it wasn't her, it was Amanda that was triggered. She wasn't triggered. She just said.
It's sad. That's why we're addressing it. If everybody just ignores it, nothing gets done.
Right. They won't sell bear spray in New Zealand.
There are no bears. Well, you never know.
Tell them you want it for monster spray.
Monsters, yeah.
There's monsters, and I need my monster spray.
And don't worry, we'll pick it up after this. We got on some serious topics. We'll bring in the gutter talk and the funs and laughs.
This last freeze, there was some ice in an outdoor concrete hallway. I played on it for a minute, but steered clear once it started to melt and got water under it. Oh, yeah, because that could be a fun ride. I remember them days. I used to ride those out as a kid.
Oh. If they're acting like animals and being gear, I'm not sure I understand that one.
Why can't the other side?
Being heard. I hate this freaking phone. Oh, it's just he's having touchscreen issues.
And you know,
Well-
Ashley, right? You know, Ashley right now, she's like
Well,
that.
This
fucking
is
piece of shit.
this is why.
Son of a bitch.
At the end of the day, our
Now read it
character.
again, just read it again. If they are acting like animals and being gear, why can't they other side? See, that's the kind of shit that Rick can go, God damn it, don't post shit like that. I don't know what the fuck you're saying. I don't care. But it cracks me up because
That's that. If
That's
they're
right
acting
now.
like animals and being gear, why can't the other side? Well, did you grease them?
Why can't the other side?
I don't know.
Flour under it. That's exactly what got me. I wanted to buy vacuum, but once that ice starts to melt, nope.
Not against Satan.
Not against like
Satan brings the ice. I know it seems what's the word for it?
That's it, guys. Sorry.
those over?
It's 2 a.m. here. I'm naked and in bed. I swear, you're doing this just to get these guys all riled up.
Oh, Justine, here we go with the gutter talk. There we go. A little,
That's right. She's
little
like,
yank, a little
get
gutter.
the gutter out of the way here.
You know,
yanking it into
So I'll
the
say
gutter.
good night.
we
But
point and laugh
listen
at the
as long
guys
as
with
I can.
tiny putters.
You know, Justine, as long as you don't touch it for too long while you're laying there listening to us, I don't think that any of us will
No
be
turkey neck beans.
I'm just petting the cat.
no turkey neck beans. That's right.
Being heard.
Frickin'
Because we're not animals. That's why we don't act like
Got it.
animals.
No, it was hilarious. Shame. I got a video of it.
No one got a video of it. Of what? And if
Okay,
he says his 3-year-old has got water in his monster spray bottle, it works too.
Hey.
Kind of here, not here. You going to talk shit about me? Yep. Oh,
We are.
Lee,
That's it.
formerly known as Lay. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Tell him about the mares. Yeah.
Yeah. Tell him about the mares, Lee.
Tell him about
Go
the
ahead.
mares.
Oh no.
And the 3-dog night. Go ahead. Tell him.
I might have been in and out of that conversation with the 3-dog night. Why don't
No,
you tell
there
him?
was
No
no
turkey
3-dog
neck
night.
beans stub.
There was no 3-dog night. I
Oh
swear there was.
man. I was gonna say I gotta go back and watch.
Oh, don't get me going on the Rick voting for bait. No, don't even get me going, Fliker. I'm telling you what, man. That
Okay.
pissed me off.
I think this is a good quick tidbit. For somebody like me, I vote for policies to make a point to an extent, especially with all the sudden border action. Our votes only mean so much. If Hillary Clinton had said, I'm repealing all gun laws and cutting all taxes, naturally I'd vote for them. People think Trump's going to save the country, but they're blind and in a cult just as much to the point. But it's
If
kind of
you
a
think
litmus
it's a
test of
fucking
what.
politician that's going to save our country, you're
policy-
out of your rabbit ass mind, Bobby.
Yeah.
There ain't
Yep.
no fucking politician that's
None
going
of
to
'em.
save our country.
Thank you,
None.
thank you, and I applaud that. That's what I'm saying.
Shouldn't everybody know this by now? I mean, like
So-
they're just puppets. They're just
So between politicians and Donald Trump, I'm picking Trump.
Oh, I voted for Donald Trump. I have no problem saying that, and I loved every fucking moment of it. Every
I'll vote
tweet,
for
I
him
was
every
laughing
time.
my ass
Until they
off.
can
His
show me somebody
policies,
better.
I loved it. But I have two major points with Donald Trump. He didn't pardon Snowden or Assange.
Well,
What
my
the
deal
fuck
is
is up with that?
he put the rush on that fucking experiment. That pissed me
Yep.
off.
Yeah, warp
That
speed.
fast
Remember,
track
that
shit.
started under Trump. And here's proof that Trumpsters aren't in a cult like that, because they say it's right-wing Trump supporters that wouldn't take the vax. Well, Democrats wouldn't take the vax under Trump. And then when Biden got in, they're all for arresting the unvaxxed. I didn't take it under Trump. I'm not taking it under this fucking potato.
I am not.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit who it is. I ain't taking none of that shit. They couldn't force that on me. No, I don't care.
By
No
the
thanks.
people who created the virus. And we went over the literature. I pulled it up a couple times.
Shit it down. Shut it down. Oh, dude, that
Rick
oh
for
my God.
president.
You know what?
Let Rick be president. I'd vote for him. We
Bobby,
should all
was you
write
there
him
the
in.
other night when Rick shut it down?
Oh my God, Saturday? I ain't doing this. Good night, y'all. And he just cut it. I was like, oh,
Dude,
fuck.
and somebody said, somebody was being funny and said, we'll put Gutter Girl in as a mod. And I don't know if he even caught the Gutter Girl part. And I was sure fucking hoping he didn't, because he was pissed. He only seen the mod part, and that was enough to piss him off, because before that, you fucker, Rick, you better not be listening.
Oh,
Anyway,
Rick better be listening. Say something, Rick. Yeah.
I'm the one that said, because Rick said, well, I can't get this thing to show me how to go over there or something. He was trying to figure something out, and I need this, or I need to do something. Well, I know, I couldn't remember what it was, but I know I could fix it. And I said, well, if you had a mod could help you with that shit. Well, then somebody said, put Gutter Girl in his mod and she can control some of these spammers. Oh, fuck.
Oh, I kept repeating, so-and-so is a troll, so-and-so is a troll. If there was anyone, he was probably looking at us, I ain't dealing with this tonight. From yeah, especially you. You know what I mean? You're one of his favorites.
He was pissed. Oh, I was just like, I mean, I was sitting there with my jaw up and going, oh, you fucking pussy. That's all I could say was,
and I told Amanda when I saw him going through and he was saying about the troll, and he's like, block him yourselves. And he's going, and I saw all the comments coming in. I told Amanda he's in a mood tonight.
Oh,
this one might not last very long. And then he said, fuck this, I ain't dealing with it. Shut it off. I missed the whole live the next day. I didn't know.
And I don't know if I don't know if it was really that. I think something else set him off. You know how everybody has things that go on through their day that fucking just sets them off? Well, I think part of it might have been that somebody from his horse channel sent him an email telling him they were going to get him for defamation of character.
Oh, bullshit.
Because he ranted to them about, he said something about them coming. I don't know. It was something stupid. It was not.
What's the character? Was it liable or was it his opinion? Because that's bullshit. And I know somebody I commented, it was annoying as fuck. Yeah, no, I got Rick's play. And when you're not in the mood to deal with it, but that's bullshit. I mean, he's not defaming anyone's character who doesn't earn it, and somebody's opinion. It's not like he's a news outlet saying this is fact and knowingly spreading lies about somebody just to make them look bad. And what kind of position are they in?
Yeah, and I don't know. I don't know the whole particulars. I mean, he did go off on it a little bit the other day, and so I think that kind of might have been what like got the whole thing rolling, and he was like, fucking dirty, And I get it. I totally get it.
We should say that and make it known, though. I mean,
I know
we have the ability to block trolls ourselves. So if you see someone in there repeating shit, you don't want to.
You know what? There's just sometimes you're in a mood and you just don't want to fucking deal with anybody. Yep. And so if you start your live out because that's the type of person you are, and then within 10 minutes shit's already going south, fuck it. See, I'm out.
I wish he would have left it up though. I don't like that he deleted it because that was epic grand fashion of Rick ain't putting up with shit. You know what I mean?
I know.
I went back to look at it. I was like, that was epic.
But like, I think the compassionate side of Rick, I think that's how come he come back the next morning. He's like, fuck, man, I left my dudes high and dry. They're always there. I'm going to go. I mean, I don't know that because I didn't talk to him, but I have a feeling just from what I do know about Rick, I have a feeling that's kind of, his compassion started weighing in on it. And he was like, fuck, okay, I better do a live this morning. So I would have totally missed it had Lee not said something to me.
I didn't notice. I think I got on for the last half hour. I saw him on there.
Yeah. Oh,
I was like, holy shit, Rick's live. It's Sunday. You know what I mean? Like, Sunday's usually the quiet day.
I went out to Marvin and I'm like, we're done with the live. He's like, what?
What? Right?
I go, yeah. Um, Rick, he was done. He goes, he just ended it. I go, yeah. He goes, uh-oh. Fuck, he acts like me.
When enough's enough, right?
Yeah.
And then I was gonna go live, but honestly, I passed out. Me and Amanda have been fading in and out of consciousness, taking advantage of time down to sleep. So it was like, what is sleep? You know, I got acquainted with that. But you got something to catch up on the chat. I'm gonna leave you and Nick to hang out. I gotta go take care of a few things. I hear that whip on its way to Kraken.
Whip.
The whip.
Yeah, she needs iced tea. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
And I will catch up with you guys. Continue about I want to get in with you about this ring discussion, but I suggest you hit up some of them chats. Get a little background music going too.
I am gonna look at some of those chats and see what I got.
We're here for Yank and gotta talk. And Lee gave him the stress boobies. You're lucky he didn't get a strike for that.
Why?
That was so funny, dude.
Trust movies were great. I had those and they popped.
I think I should have trust balls.
Oh,
I mean, like they hang under a desk
or wherever. I mean, if you could just, they can't feel like the boobies though. They got to feel like balls, because balls do not feel like boobies.
No, balls don't feel like boobies, not at all. That'd be really weird. Balls are like a lot harder than boobs, so I'd be like, definitely wouldn't want to motorboat those. Weird.
Me either. Okay, let's see. Who else? Justine picture or it didn't happen. Yeah, no doubt. Justine kisses 2 minutes of.
When do we take shots? That's what I came for. Wait, that's a thing.
Oh shit! Cheers. Here we go.
That's not.
You know
that's
the
not
drill.
liquor.
You big dummy.
You big
Are
dummy.
you doing? Well, all I got is coffee. I didn't put nothing in there.
That's okay.
And sip it.
Why, Lee? Why didn't they talk shit when I was gone? Laugh out loud. Ash, you haven't been gone a lot, but if I catch you gone, then you're fair game. They're all crooked. Okay, well, I definitely got to catch up.
Who the hell is Ash? There you go. That's one.
Okay, Ashley is Ash F. Remember Ash F.
I absolutely do. That was her talking shit. There you go. That was just for you, Ashley. Ash who? Oh my goodness.
You're vaxxed, Amanda?
Oh man.
Regardless. We just want everybody to be safe. That's my biggest thing. I don't want to judge anybody for what they do. Me, myself, I wouldn't. And if you came to me as a friend and said, what do you think I should do? I'd straight up say, fuck no, run. No. But if you choose to do it, that's your own prerogative. I don't get to choose that that's something you have to choose for yourself.
I feel like I agree with that same statement. But this is why I said before earlier in the conversation, not every woman should have a remote. I didn't really want to be vaxxed. And my ex was like, we're moving to Florida. In order to travel, you have to be vaxxed. We drove a car down to Florida. And also in the complex, she said I needed to be vaxxed, which was not true. She lied to me. She only said it because, her grandmother told her if she didn't get vaccinated, she couldn't hug her. I was like, that's fucked up. And so she put it on me. Yeah.
Let me just tell you, I've been married for 30 plus years. And if my husband did it, I would divorce him.
Oh, shit.
And I'll tell you why.
Why?
Because my belief is extremely strong. If somebody else goes out and gets it, that's one thing. They're not my family, so I can't put my opinion in there on what they do. But my family knows exactly how I feel about it, and they know why. I don't just say it because because it's a feeling. I say
Mhm.
it, and I've gave them proof as to why I believe it should not be in them, and why I think that them doing it can affect the rest of us that is around them. So, in saying that, I live with him and am with him all the time, and our beliefs are the same. I couldn't imagine being married to somebody that could believe that their beliefs were completely different than mine. I mean, why the fuck would you be together? If your beliefs were completely different, why would you? I mean, when you go into this world as a couple, you go into it to fight for the same things. If you don't believe in the same things, how the hell are you going to fight for them?
Why are you together? That's the whole thing. That's what the whole thing is. The way that, like, with me and my ex, she was kind of like wishy-washy. She'd lean on each fence. I told her about everything. And then when her dad got like a Pfizer, and she was like, well, she's like, I'm scared. What are you doing? I'm scared.
Down.
And I'm scared for him. And then when her grandmother said that, because she told her grandmother, she's like, well, like, I haven't gotten the vaccine. I haven't gotten the vaccine yet, and I haven't gotten COVID. And she's like, well, if you don't get it, then you can't hug me. I'm like, my grandmother would never say that to me, first and foremost. And I think it's kind of fucked up that her grandmother said that. And it just goes to show that, how it ended. It was actually just a good thing that it ended for me in hindsight. And it's for me, I was raised actually, my pediatrician when I was a kid, he was kind of a holistic doctor, didn't believe in vaccines or anything, didn't believe in any of that shit. He believed that if you're going to, get exposed to things, you have to build up your own immunity naturally, not being like, oh, this could build up your immunity
Eat
faster.
dirt and get the chicken pox.
Yeah,
there's certain vaccines. I'm all vaxxed up, but this one ain't. When you have to change the definition of vaccine,
I never even got the flu shot, so no. I don't know.
I worked in the medical field for 20 plus years and didn't get the flu shot. And I had the flu one time.
I never worked in the medical field, but I never got the flu shot.
Yeah.
And I never got the flu.
You did.
Fly Crew said what Rick was saying could work, but Beto would get in and change as many rules as possible.
Oh, he's coming for your ARs. He's coming for the AKs.
Oh, hell yeah. There's no way. That's why I said I can't. Oh, God. Just like
you try to hide them. You lost them in a boating accident. Everybody, go out on a boat and then just report your guns lost. That's not legal advice. That's liberty advice.
Liberal?
Yeah, liberty. I was like, what happened?
Well,
yeah, I was.
I used to be considered a liberal. Can you believe that shit? I was a left-wing liberal, and then now I'm a right-winger, even though my views never changed. I just want the government to leave me the fuck alone.
Yep.
I wish I was there.
He wished he was there. Fly Crew wished they were there because
yeah, to look back, it was gone. Yeah, the one was gone.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, Rick, we love you. And even when you freak out, not to diminish your masculinity, but somehow it's still adoring,
Oh, I fucking
love it. You get to see some raw emotion from Rick. Yeah, I loved it too. I was like, I was
pissed because it means, my Saturday night, that's what I do. Dude, I set out time for you on Saturday night.
Me too. Everybody knows where I'm going to be. I'm going to be right there. Yep.
So why are they pushing the shot so bad? Why? Exactly.
Well, now they're lifting it in many places. So I'm going to bring up, I don't think
he got
we can't do any kind of audio sharing, right? You would have to bring up background music. We need to add a little music. I want to get into this. You had topics tonight as we continue along with the chats, but I'm just upset because let's hit some of the chats for sure.
I sort of don't blame him. I was annoying.
Yeah, no, it was
Annoying.
because it took over the chat. Absolutely. He raged quite. He raged quit. Yep. Close enough. I'll give it to you.
I thought Rick was joking at first. Well, I didn't. He had that look on his face that said, I'm done.
I knew. Yeah, I knew. I was like, he's in the mood tonight. This is going to be a short live. Although I did hold down a little bit to see if he came back on, but I didn't.
I did wonder if he'd come back on, like, because he's really compassionate. And I mean, he knows he has a lot of fans that really, stick with him. And so I think
Rick.
Yeah. So and I know that's why he came back Saturday was, or Sunday morning, because he knew he knew that. And he had 600 people. He goes, man, I'm going to get pissed off and leave you fuckers more often. It was funnier than shit. He had
leave the live up next time, you son of a bitch.
Yeah.
I'm glad that motherfucker left. No, I'm just
Oh God, that was funnier than shit.
But
okay.
Let's hit the bottoms of the chats.
On the video.
I'm just upset because I was waiting for a third arm or a third nipple.
I gotta make my rounds.
Make your rounds.
Yeah, one of my friends needs me right now.
Okay.
So he's like,
well, everybody say bye to Nick.
Bye, Nick.
Peace out. Nick from Trash Culture.
Yes.
Good friend. Awesome people. He's got a voice for radio. I got a face for radio. And a voice for mime school.
Yeah, Shaz, that video's been taken down.
Yeah.
He took it down that night. He was pissed. Some people just want to be first to tell Rick everything, though. I know. I was kind of bad at doing shit like that, too. Thought I was like the teacher's pet or something. And I was like,
Right.
fuck.
I literally trolled Rick, telling Rick it was a troll. Yeah.
Eventually, you just realize you're just, he's just a person, just like me. So.
He was so sassy.
Amanda said she loved it because he was sassy. She likes when Rick gets sassy. His little dude comes out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're here tonight. It is Tuesday. You're all tuned in to Yank and Gutter. Yank is MIA this live stream, but not forgotten. God bless him. And Gutter is here hosting all on her own. And we had some topics. We went through the melancholy of people marketing off adopted children. But there was some other topics you had on the board, one of which were these Ring cameras. What is going on with these Ring camera videos?
So, what I'm going to point out is not so much even the videos. For me, it's people saying, well, it is their videos. It's like I'll wake up in the morning and I will have at least one or two notifications specifically regarding people breaking into houses or turning the doorknob, or like they don't walk up and knock on the door. They just walk up and turn the doorknob.
Kiss you on the head.
There's that. All right.
Dude, did he grab your ass too?
Good night. You're lucky you're leaving now, you son of a bitch.
Did he grab your ass too?
No, but he would have if I was standing.
Oh, Nick. Okay.
Oh, man.
This worries me.
Luckily, you drew that out. You might get a strike for a bad word. That was close. Close one.
Okay. So we do get a lot of somebody's animal. Okay, here's one. Break in at 2:45 a.m. Just down the street from me, like
Oh, shit.
4 blocks.
No shit.
Oh, yeah. Neighbors had an unauthorized entry at 2:45 a.m. They did not report to cops. Only one person entered their home, a woman, but 2 people were seen on our other camera at another angle. not included in this post. The person appeared intoxicated. The person made references to their cousin who used to live there, a false statement, as a pretense for their entry into our neighbor's home.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So that's, I mean, and I get these every day. The other day, there was one, I was trying to find it. And it was about somebody who busted through their door. The girl was 18 years old. She went running to her bedroom and grabbed her taser and turned around, and it made the noise, and the dude took off. He didn't
Don't
go.
rely on that, but she got lucky as fuck. Thank God at least she
hell
was on
yeah.
her ones and twos. You know. I'll put it to you this way, man. Anybody breaking into your house in the middle of the night, they're usually under the influence of drugs, or they got guns of their own. They're there to do some shit. There's no I'm here to feed my family at 3 a.m.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? What are you doing there? You got your phone up? Is that what that
I'm
is? I thought
sorry,
you
yeah.
were cheersing. Cheers.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I do got my phone up because I was looking at the comments. Let's see. I'm going to the bottom here. 50% of the time you try to tell Rick something and he gets it wrong and you get told you're dumb anyways. You take that risk. I know, dude. It's the whole reason I came up with my name. I mean, it was all over that. I still can't believe it.
Well, I used to live in a bad neighborhood, so my cars were broken into on a regular basis. Even if they were locked, they didn't care. I came out to I had a brand new Honda Accord Sport. I came out, it was sitting on cinder blocks right in my own driveway. And I was one of those over there. I had a gun in every room in the house. Everyone who was in the house knew where the guns were, what gun was in what room, how to use it, what the vantage point was. And it turns out they hit about 4 or 5 cars that night, one of which was a cop's house who had a K9, and they got his car too. Then gunmen finally broke into my house and started tying up my family in the basement. I had a basement apartment. I had worked all day. I got home. I went to the music studio because I was in a band. So I got home from the studio around 1:30. By the time I got out of the shower, it was about 2:30 in the morning. And I went to bed. Had I not gone to the music studio, I would have been dead asleep. But I heard all this rustling, tussling. I went downstairs. There was 2 masked gunmen tying up my family. I chased them out with a shotgun. Now, this is one of those situations where not many people have been through that pucker factor where there's men in your house with guns holding your family hostage. The cops said, "Why didn't you shoot?" I said I didn't have to. Me aiming at the guy saw my family members behind him. Had I shot him, I was shooting them too. You know what I mean? And they went to give me their gun, and I didn't take it. I just cleared a path and said, "Get the fuck out of my house." Because when it comes down to it, if I'm taking your gun, now what you were doing to my family, tying them up like prisoners, you might think I'm going to do to you. That's when the shootout happens. You know, you have these split-second decisions to make. The second they didn't bring the gun up, because had he brought the gun up and aimed it at me, I mean, I would have had no choice. But they never did. And they ran out of my house. And everybody survived. And they got picked up a little while later. But all these people are, why would you need a gun? No one needs to own a gun. You could call the cops. These are the same people that say defund the police. It's like not owning a fire extinguisher because the fire department exists. You know? And I've had my fucking family being tied up in the basement until I came down and chased them out, you know, with a shotgun. And another part they don't show you in movies about shooting a 12 gauge in your house is how you go deaf, because you blow your fucking eardrums out, which is why I think everybody should be able to have handguns. You know, if you could shoot a 9mm in a room and be okay, but if you shoot a 12 gauge in a room, you're not going to hear shit for weeks.
Yeah.
You know? And they don't talk about that. You know, so anytime somebody gets on me, I'm a Second Amendment absolutist. Everybody deserves to own a gun. Everybody in America. And according to our Second Amendment, you can own nukes. Do I agree with everybody owning nukes? No. But technically, if you
No.
want to go by letter of the law, you can own anything you want.
I kind of
Machine
really am
guns
glad not everybody owns that.
Oh, well, me too. You know,
That could
especially
be
the
good
guys that
theory.
broke into my house.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yep. Fly Crew said, Bobby, that is insane. I know you've told this story before. It would be real hard not to be out for blood, but I like your logic.
Yeah, my house wasn't a murder scene. I don't have lives on my conscience. I
That's
saved
right.
my family.
Yep.
It was enough of a thing as it was. Although, trust me, I was racked. The safety was off. If that gun came up, they would have been mincemeat. But
Yeah.
no, I share that story because I don't think I've lived through it. That pucker factor. My family got broken into by masked gunmen, and we're tying my family up. And all these people, especially our politicians, they say, "Oh, no one needs a gun. Let's defund the police," and then they spend $100,000 on private security. They go, "Oh, only you get security." Well, I'm here fighting the good fight. No, you're here stepping your boot on the necks of citizens. And when seconds count, cops are minutes away, and I'm living proof of that. You
Mhm.
know, I come from experience with it. I've lived through a pucker situation. As Rick always says, he could tell that Asp has never been in a pucker situation. It exists. Your adrenaline's running. You are in tunnel vision, and I've been there. And it's not hindsight's 2020. You know, I'm just glad that those guys knew enough to just, there's a clear path, get the hell out of here. Because had it happened a second time, I'm not saying that there wouldn't have been crime tape.
Oh,
If it
well,
ever
and the whole reason that people are armed is because if they need it, they're going to use it. I
Yeah.
mean, it's just the way it is. That's what it's for, to protect yourself. Rick misunderstood about who killed themselves on the Epstein-Maxwell case.
Yeah.
I know,
I
he
saw
did.
me and you trying to update him too. Yeah, it
I
was
know.
the pimp from France, not Ghislaine.
Yeah, he thought it was Maxwell, but it was their accomplice. I know.
He's one man going through a million
want a gun
comments
back
though,
in
and
the day.
got a girl and Yank, you know, so slowly learning how fast that chat speed goes when you all interact.
I don't want a gun. Back in the day, I was in a rifle club with my mom and dad. I did enjoy that.
Well, see, that's the beauty. If you don't want a gun, don't buy one. The difference between two political factions is we believe if you don't want a gun, you don't have to buy one. But don't tell me I can't own one because you don't want one.
Well, and there is a piece of me when somebody says they don't want a gun, there's that piece of me that goes, I know, but when you need it and you don't have it and somebody takes you out because you didn't have it, it's too late then to go back and say, here, take this.
You can't.
You already know how
I'd
to
rather have it and not need
use
it.
Yep.
And even my own mother was like that. Oh, with these 10-round mags, if you have more than one person break into your house, forget about it. It's a death sentence only having 10 rounds. You know, you're not trained for that. It's the middle of the night, you're disoriented. So you got to lay down some suppressor fire, get a round or two off. It takes more than one round in many cases to stop somebody. So if there's more than one person and you only have 10 rounds, you better be like a trained Marine. You know?
Yeah.
For the average citizen, that's a death sentence. More than one person and you only have 10 rounds.
Oh, I hear the echo coming back.
Hold still.
You know.
There. Hold still, I said.
Australia, not allowed anyway. Easier to get a license on outback stations, aka ranches. Well, that's because Australia went along with the buyback program. That was only a few years ago. You guys haven't been without guns for a few years. You know, and we got friends over there. Tuppy's mom is over there. I mean, we have friends and fans out there. Look at Canada. Trash culture still here. What's up, Nick? In spirit.
He said he's still here in spirit.
And with your spirit. But in America, that's really bare arms. Doesn't say muskets, doesn't say machine guns. We were allowed to own tanks and cannons, despite what Biden said.
He just said you can still get them. You can get a license, and if you're on a ranch out there.
The whole fact that you need permission from your government.
I don't care. I'm telling you, I agree. I don't like that idea, but my ass would have one. I don't care if I had to put a cow in my backyard. My fucking ass would have one. The buyback was brought in.
Yeah, so because one person acted crazy with the rifle means everybody else gets punished. That's insane. In fact, that breaks Nuremberg laws of group punishment. That's actually a war crime to punish everybody for the action of one. I'll put it to you this way. Anybody that wants to disarm you does not have good intentions for your future. Because they might try to do something you'd shoot them for. You know? But why do they get to keep the guns, right?
Yeah.
Now, these things with the Ring cameras, that's waking a lot of people up to how violated they actually are as a private person. You see the people trying to get into people's houses and cars. Let's put a poll out on the chat. How many of you type in the number 1 if you think the nature of mankind is basically good? And then type 2 in the chat if you think the general nature of mankind is basically bad. Like, if left to their own devices, do you believe humans are good or bad? I'm curious to see this, what you all think.
That's a pretty vague question, though. I mean, yeah, I think that some humans, if you leave Dems to their own device, dude, they'll eat themselves.
Well, let's see. You're already understanding why I'm asking this question. Let's take a quick poll of the people in the chat. If humans by nature, do you think mankind is generally good or bad? 1 is good, 2 is bad. Let's see what you all have. What do you all
Amanda
think?
says 3 survival. They ain't falling for your shit. Look at that. Nobody. That's the thing. Someone once told me, if you are not confident using your weapon, it's likely you'll die from that. And you are so right.
Well, that's Darwinism. 3, survival.
Yeah.
Survival's not good or bad. Survival is what some people focus on. But we're taking a poll right now. Type in 1 if you think that people by nature are good, and 2 if people by nature are bad.
We'll see how many they got. Jason, hey. Oh, I'm sorry, I got busy at the tour or the store. Andy says 2. I'll be right back.
The store. Andy says 2. Okay, so we got 1 vote in. 1 means people are generally good. 2 means humankind's generally bad. And this has to do completely with these Ring doorbells and why people might want to own protection devices. Andy's the only one to cast a vote, and Amanda casted a vote. Although, I agree with the survival. If you had to vote on the points given, Shaz has come in. Generally good in people. Sometimes you gotta look harder. Okay, so we're at a 50-50 or a 33% split if we're gonna count survival. Survival is always the main course, but we are looking for 1 or 2, Amanda, if you want to cast your vote.
Nobody is.
We got. How was the son's party? How was the son's party, Lee? All right, now that Gunner is back, and I'm about to step away, I'm gonna go through the. We got 2 answers, and I'll give my answer with it. Fine. 2. Oh, Amanda came back. Fine. 2. But survival could cause evil. Well, it depends who's trying to survive. That's true. But that's that is a subcategory. I think basically. All right, let me ask you a question. You have children, right, Gutter? Many of you have children. We know Lee has children because today was her son's birthday. How many of you parents had to teach your children how to behave badly? Have you ever had to teach your child to misbehave?
Well, my kids picked up shit from me, definitely.
But you usually, the trend is to teach them how to be well behaved.
Oh yeah,
have you ever had to teach them how to behave badly?
No, I didn't. No,
No, nobody you know has ever had to teach them.
Well, I knew. Like, I remember one time we went into the store and this lady had her kids with her, and she stole a bunch of shit, and she had her kids right there with her, and I'm just looking at her going, "Do you realize they watched you stick the shit in your purse,
Bad
lady?
parent.
They watched you do it."
Yeah. Even if you have to steal for your kids, you don't want to let them know.
Yeah.
Well, the fact that we own guns, that it's a tool, and that had to do with survival, Miss Amanda, because we would take down mammoths, we'd take down all kinds of animals without a gun. If you go out in the middle of the woods and you run into a pack of coyotes, you're going to wish you had a gun. It's a tool for survival. Some people turn them on other humans. Every weapon is an assault weapon. If I picked up a rock and beat someone over the head with it, it would be an assault rock. If the nature of man was generally good, slavery would never have been a part of history. You know, and this goes into, I'll get real quick and I'll dip in and out of this, but there's a reason God is depicted as a man, and that's because the biggest threat to humankind is the violence of men. And all a gun is an equalizer. If you're worried about women being raped, let all women carry guns. If you're worried about people committing crimes, you watch these Ring doorbells and you're worried about intruders, give yourself the ultimate equalizer, because bullets kill people. If Muhammad Ali broke into my house, he's probably going to get away with tying up my family because he's going to knock me the fuck out. I'm no match for Muhammad Ali. But if he came in to a 308 or a 556, you know, that I believe that we've proven it ourselves that the nature of mankind's not good. Look at what government's doing. Mm-hmm. Look at why we have to have rallies. Mm-hmm. You know, look at the Stalinists, the Bolsheviks, communism. Look at Venezuela. Look at North Korea. You know, when left to their own devices, humans have proven that they're not good by nature.
Amanda says, parent, I teach my child to stand up for himself, and if that means hit back, then it means defend yourself.
Hell yeah. This zero violence policy taught people who were bullied to just accept it. I agree 100%. If my kid knocked someone out, they probably deserved it.
Yep, just like if somebody threatened my children and I'd sleep great that night. Yeah, there. So probably Brad, because you teach. That's what's good. Therefore, they realize what is bad. Yeah, true.
Yeah. A lot of the times people, if they get picked on and a bully comes up and then they, like this happened to my little brother. Somebody came up, started a fight with him and attacked him, and he beat them up. So all of a sudden he was in trouble, and I was like, no. Go to the video footage. Who he attacked him. It's not my brother's fault he kicked his ass. Stop attacking people.
My granddaughter did have to be taught how to have and I don't want to say a malicious bone, but she was such a sweetheart. She wouldn't let, the kids were just mean to her. And finally it was like, Boog, you have to stand up for yourself.
Yeah.
If that means you kick their ass, you kick their ass. Well, one time she was at camp and this little boy was messing with his little sister, and he kept messing with her and kept messing with her. And he finally threw his little sister's lunch, which was Hayden's friend, in the garbage. And then he pushed my granddaughter. And when he pushed my granddaughter, she kicked him square in the nuts. And he left her alone from then on. He left him alone. And there were, there was instructors that seen it and they laughed, thought it was funny, and kind of looked the other way. But yeah, I mean, you have to teach them to stand up for themselves or they'll be ran over.
I was always like that. I'm too generous for my own good. I'm there for everybody, and then when I need help, they're gone. Yeah, he's in the tub. Jason in the tub.
Rub a tub. Bobby, how many children do you have?
My own, none, but I raised my brothers and sisters. So I have parenting experience.
Yeah, Ashley, my daughter went through that too. They told my daughter that she needed to get in the fetal position and stay there until somebody came to save her. And I told told the principal, I said, you get down on the floor and you get in the fetal position, and I'm going to begin to kick the shit out of you, and I'm going to lock this door, and you just wait until somebody comes. That's right.
Yep, that zero tolerance bullshit basically was a green light for bullies.
Mm-hmm. Well, schools are shit. You're telling me, Amanda. They are. I've been trying to. I mean, I wish my granddaughter could just stay home and be. I mean, my daughter did a fabulous job there the year that she wasn't allowed to go to school. She did a really good job with teaching my granddaughter.
Is Shaz saying not the same as far as me raising mine? Because I was a latchkey child. It's all the same. We'll get into that I'm reading a few comments down. Yeah, Gutter Girl's a grandma because she had her first child when she was 4. She's 25.
Right, I'm 29. And
29? Oh, shit. You're aging yourself.
No, I'm 29. I am always 29. But yes, I am a grandma to an 11-year-old. And my daughter's older than me, and I don't know how it all happened, but it did. So that's just the way it is. Just accept it, okay? It's like the blue pill. I was ran over that too. I was ran over.
She was a doormat. Yeah, very nice person where people would take advantage.
Yeah,
now, if Shaz's responses to mine not the same. Oh, well, I made sure they were fed. I made sure they were out of trouble. I was the first of them all. I was the oldest. We were latchkey kids. We had a single mother. So everything outside of school, I was responsible for. By the time my mom got home, they were in bed. The dishes were done. They had showered and bathed and everything. I had the drug and sex talk with my siblings. My mother could only do so much as a single parent, and she kept a roof over our heads.
Well, you
I made it my mission to be the father that wasn't around.
Yeah, and you definitely stepped up.
I'm sorry?
You definitely stepped up, that's for sure.
And to this day, I still look out for them, and it's amazing.
Amanda, you're not turning 30 for the second time this year. Bullshit. Look at that picture. Is that you right there?
Yeah, bullshit. Well, age is, what do they say? Age is an idea. You're only as old as you feel you are.
Well, I'm okay with thinking she's 30. I'm not okay with thinking she's 60. She said she's turning 30 for the second time this year.
Oh, Jesus Christ. No way.
Sorry, guys. Just missed all that.
No, it's all good. I just understand what it's like to worry constantly about your children. That, I reared these kids, and I've been kept up at night wondering where the fuck they were. I get it. I get the plight of parents.
Andy says he learned how to fight. I don't know if I learned how to fight, but I can tell you that it's amazing how fast bullies want to be their friends after they get popped in the mouth.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you that I was really small for my age, and so I'm always about. always about picking up equalizers. So whether it was a stick or a lunch pail or whatever, they got it side the head or
Yes.
wherever to get me to.
There's no rules in street fighting.
Well, yeah. So I learned to protect myself that way because I was too small to really do it by fist, with fists. I had to pick up shit, and that's what my stepdad taught me, was just pick up an equalizer.
Yeah, they're not worth breaking your hands over. You're not fighting people you like, and if you are, you're not gonna be breaking your fist.
Ah, shit, we would have a lot to talk about. How we were raised and all. Yep. 7/28/90. Oh, Jesus, you're 1 year older than my oldest son. He was born in 91, so, and I have a daughter who's older than that, but I'm still 29, so.
I was born in
figure that all
87.
out.
I just turned 35 yesterday. Right? Today's Tuesday? Yeah, yesterday.
You were born when they said I was supposed to graduate or some shit like that, but I'm 29.
Oh, shit. You guys used to be able to leave campus and go to bars and then go back to high school.
You're the same age as my daughter.
That was literally law. You were allowed to go off campus for lunch, hit up a bar, and then go back to school.
You're the same age as my daughter. Amanda!
Hey, I thought it'd be easier if I just joined, because, it gets lagged.
What's up, girl?
All right, are y'all going to give me shit about smoking a cigarette like Rick does? Because he totally called me out that day.
No, in fact, I was going to let you two hit it off while I went out for a cigarette. You going to yell at me?
Yeah, no, I did not come from a good background at all. But no, what I meant by turning 30 for the second time, it's like, oh, I'm turning 30 every year. This is now my second time to turn 30. So I'm going to be 32 in July. So, not 60. Just,
so, okay, whew. I'm going, no way.
Yeah, no, every year it's like, oh, I'm turning 30 this year. It's my third time, or,
Yes, there you go. However you do it.
I get it. That was like my mother with every year beyond 25. It's my first anniversary of my 25th birthday. There were no birthdays after that.
I think it's
it
the
was
new age instead of saying, like, oh, it's my
anniversaries of the
anniversary. I think it's just like, oh, I'm turning 30 for like the 5th time, or,
Yes.
That's just, yeah. But
yeah, I will not admit it. I mean, they say I was born in 69, but I am still 29. So you figure it out.
Born in 69.
No, I just.
Oh yeah, with that mentality, you would be born in 69. Amanda yelled from the background.
I mean, I love music of all ages, so. No, I just had this is my first time joining your live. I subscribed to you a long time ago because of Rick, and I was like, you know what, I like that chick, I want to subscribe, and because it's on Tuesday, so I always miss it. And today I actually got a reminder. I was like, holy shit, I got a reminder. Look at that.
I'm so glad you did it.
Yank.
I know, and then when I joined, it was like basically human trafficking, and I was like, well, fuck.
Of all things, really. I know, and usually we don't go super heavy. I mean, we might for a minute on something, but usually I don't show a whole video or whatever, but to leave it in the middle seemed a little strange, so I just finished it out.
No, that's why I was like, no,
yeah.
just finish. It's fine. Like, I can clean my countertops or something. Like, it's fine. It's not a big deal. But no, I think one of the biggest misconceptions, like as an adult, like I was saying, like as a child, like I let people walk over me, but I'll just go ahead and put this out here. Wait, actually, how many people are viewing before I say this?
15.
Well,
right,
we got.
No, I used to.
We got
be a
15
dancer,
on
so...
YouTube. I'm not sure on stream.
You used to be a dancer.
Yeah.
You know what? Did you hear?
For like 5 years.
No, I didn't.
And so
that's
what actually brought me out of my shell, because I was a very shy person.
Mm-hmm.
I was a doormat at school, but that really let me be like, oh, this is Amanda. You're not going to talk to me that way. And so I don't recommend it for everybody. Don't do it.
No.
But
what's that?
Dancing.
Oh. And I get the lure. It's easy money and all the attention's on you, but it
was mainly just the money, but it honestly, I mean, I wouldn't take it back because it brought me out of my shell.
Right.
I'm not
even as a man, I gotta be honest though. Guys disgust me with the way they lust and drool and just they become very cavemen.
It's gross.
It really is.
But I can tell you this much:
really
if you
is.
are going to do it, take my heat of warning. If you're going to make, you're going to have to look for that old crusty man that's in the corner sitting by himself that no one wants to go sit by. He's the one that's lonely. He's the one that's got money. Don't sit by that young dude who's got like $5 in his pocket. Like, that's not what's going to make you money. But
and
anyway,
it's man where his wedding ring was, because he's got kids and a wife at home, so he ain't got the money.
exactly. Like, if they've got a ring, if it's a young guy, if they're there for a bachelor party, just steer clear of that shit. You don't make your money on stage. You find that old man who's super insecure, who just wants a talking connection, and then like literally you're just like, hey, I'm broke, and they're like, oh, here's $500, and it's like tight.
I was the one that used to well, I was never into strippers, but I didn't mind going to strip clubs because it was like I could either have a beer with a bunch of old men watching sports.
So you were the guy that we liked. You were the guy that we actually looked forward to coming in. It was like,
yeah,
hey,
you know how many times I got
like,
strippers' numbers? It's insane. I would go.
Yeah, we had our regulars and like our friends that came in. Like, they weren't there for the strip show. They were there just because it was a bar and like there happened to be women, and we sat with them a lot.
No,
and they were like
I'm
our
gonna
friends.
say this. I don't mean to sound like a pig, but it's either I'm listening to drunken old badgers, or there's half naked women walking around. If I'm gonna go out, which I don't really do too often, it's kind of cooler to have half naked women walking around. So what I would do
I'm
is
straight, but I'd still rather see a naked woman than talk to some old crusty man in a regular bar.
Yeah, especially when they get all into like bullshit. It's like, dude, I don't care about sports. Quit spitting in my face. At a strip bar, the men tend to leave the other men alone. So I would give my friend, I'd be like, here's money for the girls, for the dances. You go do that. You're my designated driver. I get to drink and you drive. So I'd be sitting at the bar and the strippers would come over. Hey, Hanson. And I'm like, listen, don't waste your time here. I'm not here for you girls. My boys here for you girls.
Anybody who's ever going to go to a strip club is do not, for the love of God, do not go to the champagne room. I had it down to
never.
I've
never even gotten a lap dance. That's the back room.
Don't go where?
The champagne room.
The champagne room.
It's the back room.
I had it down to a science. So I would charge $2,000 for an hour in the champagne room. And like you have to be careful with what you say, right? Like, if you're going to break the law, at least know what you're breaking and what's going to happen. But because if you mess up, you can get prostitution charges, which means like in the future, if you have children, you can't take them to school and stuff. So I was very careful. So you can't say that you're going to do explicit stuff in the champagne room, but you can imply that, oh, we're going to have a great time and there's no bouncers around, there's no one around, right? You imply that it's going to be great. And you have an hour and you pay off your bouncers and they're going to waste the first 5-10 minutes of your time. Then you have to use the restroom. Then you come back up there and you talk for another 10 minutes. That's already 25 of your minutes. You do a 10-minute dance. So that's 35 of your minutes. Then you talk for another 10 minutes. That's 45. Then you have to use the restroom, and then you paid your bouncer off. So he comes in 10 minutes early and boom, there's your hour. So you just did 10 minutes of dancing for $2,000. Guys are dumb and they will pay that.
Okay. But the dance means like, you got to like give them a lap dance, right? Or
yeah, but like, for 10 minutes, that's 3 songs and every DJ cuts the song off short. Like, I remember excuse me, I'm not wearing makeup. There would be guys who are like, oh, I want to play Roxanne because it's like a 10-minute song. And it's like, okay, but my DJ is going to cut it off short because I pay him at the end of the night. And so, I mean, for 10 minutes of a lap dance, and even if you split it up into 2 5-minutes and like do like a talk in the middle, for 10 minutes of work, $2,000.
Dude.
I mean, there were times I think the highest amount of money I ever walked out of the club with was $10,000.
Yeah, no, it's insane the money you can make.
Yeah, and like, so you work 2 nights a week, that's $20,000, and of course you blow it, but yes, ma'am, I'm sorry. Calm down.
Yeah, dude, that I can see why girls went, okay, yeah, maybe I'll just do that instead of waiting tables.
I know it's unbelievable.
for sure.
I'm a guy who's gone to strip clubs for years. I've never gotten a lap dance. I refused. I've never.
That's what I'm saying. You're considered what we called like our happy regulars. We had our sad regulars.
I would come in and I was like, don't waste your time here. My
Yeah,
boy's here for the
no.
boobs. I'm here for the booze. He drives. I get to drink, and I gave him money to tip the girls.
I was the
And
one asking when it was shot time.
I got free alcohol at one place because they couldn't believe I could take double shots of 151 with no chaser.
Oh, for sure. No, like for our regulars,
and the
I used
bouncers
to.
wanted to keep showing their friends because they're these big, enormous, like body-built guys. And here I am, Twiggy. I'd come in and like, you could take a shot of 151, and I'm like, yeah, and I'll smile. And they used to just do it to prove they're friends, and I'm like, I'm here for the free liquor. Just give it to me, sure. And they closed a lot of them. It was they tore down every strip club in my area except for 2 that are big corporate ones.
Where do you live?
I live in Lindy, like that's my hometown. So Farmingdale, Lindenhurst, we had places like Stonehenge, Gaslight.
What state?
They were like Russian immigrants with
New
the
York.
champagne rooms.
New York.
New
Oh.
York. Now
So
you
there's
got only
different
places like
laws
Gossip
in
and
each
stuff.
state. There's different laws. So like the father of my youngest, this is gonna get a little bit like gossipy, but the father of my youngest, how I met him was I was working at his club and he owned the club. And in Texas, it's either fully nude and BYOB or you can sell alcohol and it's only
Not full
topless.
nude. Yeah.
So
Because the guys get out of control. And then they're liable if they're selling alcohol in a full nude.
well, I mean, that's not the full nude part. So you have to have an SOB license, which is a sexually oriented business license, and you have to have it. It's only in certain parts of the town that you're allowed to have that in.
Sexually, wait. Sexually I mean, if we're gonna talk gutter, let's fucking define
We're
this
at
shit.
the gutter talk.
Yeah, so for a strip club, it's a sexually oriented business.
Oriented like it's up or down.
So, like, it's a strip club. It's sexually oriented. Like, there's
Depends
naked
which way it
people.
orientates. Don't make fun of guys with curves. I don't have one for the record.
But for short, they call it SOB license.
Look, she had to join.
You got Amanda to sit in for this one. Here we go. She's like,
I
wait,
know,
what?
like I totally went on a tangent, and I'm
It's
like,
because she
"Gosh."
heard I was talking live with a dancer.
Yank is gonna be so pissed that he missed this one, Amanda.
I'm here for all of the interviews, all of the questions. Just let me know.
Yank said so. I popped in for a second, and we're talking about the whole adult industry. I was partners with a school buddy, and we had ladies who did private parties. I was the bank and bodyguard.
Oh boy.
Yankee is bitches better be rocking Jimmy's. That's all I'm saying. Yank had bitches. Go Yank. Pimp,
That's
Yank.
freaking hilarious. So you were not a pimp, Yank, but you were a.
He was this firing pimp.
See,
But back
smart
to-
ladies don't need a pimp. They can run their own shit.
There you go.
Well, what you were saying was the father of your youngest. He ran the club, and you were.
Yeah, no, he
I-
owns the club. He still owns the club. And so both of us, we were very privy to, like, so for instance, like and you don't always get arrested for this shit, but like it's just something to keep in the back of your mind if you're gonna do this. But like so like for a topless bar, if you get off of the stage without your top on, you can be arrested for prostitution. If you're walking around the club without shoes on, you can be arrested for prostitution. If you enter the foyer area, you can be arrested for prostitution. None of those things you want to happen, obviously.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is,
You
like,
would
know
say-
the crime you're gonna break before you break
Uh-huh.
it, type of thing.
I don't know.
But
Wow.
yeah, but I mean, the only reason it got complete, that's what brought me out of my shell. Like, now I can talk to a brick wall and have a great time, whereas before
Right.
I was like this shy person. And you know, now I went from an MA to a nurse to now I manage one of the biggest pediatric neurology
yeah.
centers in Austin. And not only that, but I manage the hub. So it's like, you know, you hear about these strippers who are like, oh, I'm trying to go to doctor school. Okay, 90% of the time that is incorrect.
Right.
But
Rick told us so.
yeah, I mean, you know, I actually tried to go to doctor school. It was after I had my youngest, and I went to school,
Amanda,
so
now I have to change the title of our video because you've introduced this new subject. So I have
know,
to
I hit a
some way put
curveball.
that in
So I
there.
was like, I should just enter the conversation because it's going to be harder for me to explain myself. And then whenever they were like, oh, explain on your childhood, I'm like, oh, do y'all really want to? Do y'all have the time? Like, how long does your life go? Because, damn. I mean, where do I start?
That's hilarious. I love it. That's pretty cool. How interesting. I mean, just to, have an idea how all that shit works. I mean,
for sure. I think the most hilarious thing is like, cause I'm blonde, I'm naturally blonde. I have blue eyes. I'm bubbly. And I love whenever I meet people. And then like, after a little bit, they're just like, oh, so like, where'd you go to college? Did your mom and dad pay for you an apartment? And I'm like, I lived in foster care for a little bit and my mom sold my car behind my back. Like they're drug addicts.
Oh.
Yeah, no, that's what I was talking about. Like, oh, we would have a lot. No, I take it in humor. Don't feel bad for me. That's
right.
I take it in humor.
Don't laugh, you cry.
Yeah.
I'm the first one to make a joke about it, but that's why I was like, yeah, you can't judge a book by its cover, and
That's right.
People go through shit. I think everyone has childhood trauma. Like, I would be surprised to find one person that doesn't have childhood trauma.
That's right.
Like, there's not a single person in this world that doesn't have childhood trauma. Now, there's different levels and different grades of it for sure. And I hate whenever people use it to be like, this is why I'm a shitty person, is because mom and dad didn't love me. And I'm like, okay, well, there's people who mom and dad did love and still did them dirtier. And like, they're still functional people.
Yep.
So that's what I meant by earlier. I was like, oh shit, we have a ton to talk about. Maybe not on mine, but
let me clear the air here.
Let's get the therapist involved. On the house.
Yeah. Hey, well, just bring it on. We'll handle it.
Well, earlier you guys were talking about like.
Oh, she disappeared.
Oh no! Come back. Earlier you guys were talking about like teaching kids, to defend themselves.
I like where it went. So.
And like stand up for themselves. And now I was raised with hit first, ask questions later. I mean, I grew up, I had a patch for a couple years. I walked around looking like a pug most of my life. So the kids were cruel, and everybody's kids will be kids, they'll pick on you, this, that, and the third. And then just one time I just had enough, and this girl was going at me on the bus. And next thing I know, I was telling her, I'm going to be at your house at 3:30. Like all of a sudden I grew brass ones and I had enough.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it. Like that was the last time anybody ever. Now I just make fun of it. You know what I mean? Like you get to a point where it's like, it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah.
Oh, she disappeared again?
For some reason, it keeps cutting in and out on her. I'm not sure what the deal is.
That's because my apartment has.
Oh.
Your apartment has.
It's like just when you want the punchline.
Hey, Jen G, what's up, Jen? I see Jen G in the chat. What's up?
Yes, she just got here. And Amanda's back.
Sorry, my cat is, well, the first time I exit, my cat, she has the zoomies right now and she like exited out of you, but then also my apartment has free, quote unquote, free internet that works when it wants to, and I'm like,
okay.
That's
this little
cool.
motherfucker gets the zoomies right around 3:34 in the morning. Ain't that
Mine's
right?
a hairless cat. Come here.
Oh,
That
I
sounded
love
dirty.
hairless
I didn't-
cats
I
because
didn't
they're
mean for it
hairless.
to- Yeah. Come here, where'd you go?
This motherfucker getting the zoomies now. That's why he was jumping onto my lap.
My friend, who actually is not doing very well, but she had a hairless cat, and his name was Dudley, and he fetched. You could throw stuff, and he would literally.
They are
fetch
very,
it.
very smart creatures. Like they act like dogs, and they're very lovable. Everyone's like, "Oh, I don't want a cat," and I'm like, "Okay, but a Sphinx is different." Hey, come here. I'm trying to show you off. No, she's gonna fight me.
Yes. They're so ugly. They're cute, and you should feel them. They feel so cool. Almost like a set of balls, but different.
I also have a chameleon, and I have like 200 snakes. So
Oh, fuck that.
I'll show
I
you
like
the.
her.
I'll show you the
I want a
chameleon.
snake. Am I allowed to have a snake?
I had snakes growing up.
If you want a snake, I mean, we got plenty. If you want to buy one, I could. There's like anywhere from
A
like
nice
30
little
to.
boa.
The last snake I had was a red-tailed boa.
Yeah, a little laid-back boa.
So we only breed ball pythons, and actually last year in the freeze, we lost like 30.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah, it was really bad. We were not part of the. Come, DJ, do not bite me.
See?
You little bitch. Ah! Okay.
Well, I don't want that one.
No, it's a chameleon.
Oh,
You can't have one.
chameleon.
Look at that.
He's like, I'm not in the mood.
They're never in the mood. They're not kind creatures.
They're never
angry
in the mood. I had a
creatures.
chameleon once.
Yeah,
Oh
I'm
my
trying
goodness.
to blend. Leave me alone.
Watch, he'll bite me on live. That
I
shit
caught
hurts,
a
by
little
the way.
gecko once.
I bet
a
it
little
does.
Salamander gecko in the basement in a Queens building. I named him Gator, and I had him for years. And unfortunately, I was going to clean the tank, and I had to get him to clean the moss and stuff out. And he ran right into the wall, broke his own neck, and paralyzed himself.
Oh no!
Yeah, it was horrible. I actually cried at the vet getting a lizard put down, and everyone's like, "It's so small. Why don't you just crush it with a rock or break its neck?" I'm like, "You don't get it.
No.
I bonded with this little fucker. I caught him in the wild, and I love him." You know.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
well, I
against
didn't know
all
we had chipmunks
all
until
animal cruelty.
it was
Like that's insane. Well, I don't.
dead of winter, and I found a chipmunk outside.
If your snake slithers in front of me,
It's gonna get
It-
eaten.
So I
That
don't
bitch
have any
is
of the
going down.
snakes. I don't have any of. So my ex and I, the one that owned the club, we were together for like 8 years, and he's the one who's into the snakes, and I'm the one that decided to get an apartment like a dumbass instead of keeping the house. Whatever. Anyway, the snakes are over there. They're not here in the apartment. But so yeah, no snakes to show.
well, I could see him from here. It's just I could, yeah.
You're like, I
You
feel
can
them.
feel 'em
I
right now.
believe you. They're there.
Dude, I mean, my hands get sweaty just thinking about it.
Really? They're not that bad.
Oh, fuck that.
They're actually there's some of them they act like puppies. Like they just want to like love on you and like crawl around you. Like they
Oh,
just
yeah,
want to
they-
love.
Some of them, you never
tail just
know until
wiggles
they
back
actually
and
bite
forth.
you. Though. Cheers. What are you knocking back tonight? That looks like some Patron.
It was tequila.
I got iced tea.
I called
Yeah.
it tequila. You know,
I think
what?
all of my
amaretto
all of
in
my
there.
dancing years really ruined me, and my tolerance is like a 50-year-old man. It's ridiculous.
That used to be mine. And just for you, for that, I'm going to pull out. I have Johnny
What are
Walker
you
Black.
pulling out?
I'm going to take a birthday shot with you.
He's like, wait, you just got it.
Look
there.
at
Don't
this.
be
We're
pulling
live
it
on
out.
Tuesday doing
Johnny
shots
Walker
with dancing.
Black is
Oh my God.
disgusting. I don't know how you do it. I used to be a whiskey girl.
I'm
Actually,
a
that's how I
whiskey
knew I was
girl.
pregnant. Whenever I was with the exes, I took a shot of Crown, and I was like, oh God.
We got Johnny Walker Black,
Mm-mm.
Kettle One, or Captain Morgan.
Gen G
Instead
said
of
almost
Patron,
like a set of balls
instead
for
of
different.
I poured a shot for you, so I'm waiting for you. But
Hold on,
instead of
I'm
Patron,
coming.
I prefer Don Julio. Like Don Julio is like the gentleman of tequila, where Don Julio is like that fuck baby.
I can't do tequila. My neighbor's roof will not allow it.
I'm on the 3rd floor, so
The roof.
I've woken up in wheelchairs on corners. I have quite a few drunk stories. If gutter talk can either mean dirty or you woke up in the gutter.
It could
Right.
mean just
I
about
have both
anything.
of those stories.
I
My
mean,
knees
I
are
woke
still
up
scabbed
to
over
my
from the
own
last
car
time I went
halfway
out.
up on my lawn once. We're past the statute of
Whoa,
limitations.
wait! She said her knees are scabbed over from the last time you went out.
They
What the?
are.
Wait, I gotta go get.
Oh,
I gotta refill. I'll be right back.
oh shit!
Oh wow.
Hold that
Oh.
thought.
Keep that thought. In the meantime, we'll do a shot. Here's to you, Amanda. Happy birthday! Happy birthday! Here's
July.
to the chat. Here's to Gutter. Here's to
Everybody's
Yank.
birthday.
Wait, you don't taste your shit, right?
No,
No,
he just drank it out of
that's
the
why.
bottle.
That's why I used to get free 151 shots. Now it will affect me much more than it used to.
Nah, it doesn't do that for me.
I gotta be honest. Well, also since I started my new job, I got very little time to drink. So I used to drink. I could just drink.
My job
Now,
requires
a
me to
six-pack,
drink.
you could tell.
I'm pretty sure. Like, I feel like it requires me to drink.
Yeah, no, my tolerance has.
I
which
wish
is a
the
good
tolerance
thing.
would go down. It would save me a lot in money.
That's
for
what I
damn
was gonna
sure.
say. I'm a much cheaper date nowadays. So
Well, I
it's
mean,
not
this isn't
bad.
Don Julio. This is. You know what? I'm not even gonna pretend to know how to pronounce this or chop it or like insult someone. So.
Yes, Yank, Johnny Walker Black.
See, there's a difference in whiskey and
Yankee! What's
oh,
up,
the
Yank?
word?
Hey, I'll do another one just for you, Yank. Light that acid. Acid cigar, that is. Not hallucinogens.
Ooh, cigars. I'm a hard pass on that.
You
I
gotta
don't
try
get
an
the point
acid
of
cigar. It
cigars,
smells
though.
like a black man wearing a suit.
Oh my
swear to
god, I should tell you about the time I accidentally took shrooms on Christmas Eve.
Accidentally? How do you accidentally take
gotta
something
hear
that
this.
smells like dirty feet?
Okay,
Tastes
so
like
first
it,
of all,
too.
I just want to say I
Not
was a
from
strange
experience.
child. I was a very strange child. Like I ate chalk and I liked it. And before you ask me, there's a difference in chalk. That sidewalk chalk is bullshit. I need the grade A, the shit that you stick in the little holder for the teacher, right? Right. So, and if it were socially acceptable, I would still eat that shit. But I realized like that's not cool. So now that we've moved on past, you're gonna understand the rest
No
of the
balls.
story.
Eat chalk live. No balls.
I don't have any. Maybe that can be my OnlyFans page. Is
Rub
like,
your
I
hairless
eat
cat
chalk.
and pretend you do. Eat chalk.
Start at OnlyFans. Just I eat chalk.
I will send you a bottle of tequila if you eat chalk live.
I don't have any here.
She looked around.
I'm like,
You're looking-
shit.
All right, back to the story. I didn't mean to derail you.
I'm like, shit. I really want to eat this chalk.
I want to know what happened with the knee.
Yeah, what's up with the kneecaps? Got it
Oh,
almost
nothing.
back.
It's nothing great. Like I
You
said,
know her
I
barn
wanted to
doors are
buy-
fake? You know those are fake barn doors, right?
I wanted to buy.
I had
a
no
vacuum
idea.
That day,
Unbelievable.
So I went to Lowe's, and it was day 2 of the freeze, right? So everything's melting. I'm like, okay, I'm good. And then I get in my car, and like I wanted a specific vacuum, so I had to find where it was located, and it's at this very specific Lowe's. So I get there, I go to get out of my car, I put all my weight on my foot to get out of the car, like people normally do, and there was a big block of ice, but it's melting, so my foot just goes whoop underneath, and it drags it's at a slope, so my whole entire body goes underneath the car, and the only thing that stopped me was my boobs, and so I'm literally doing this motion to get out from underneath it. Yeah, like I'm swimming. And so then I get up and I look around, I'm screaming profanities, and I look around, I'm like, okay, no one saw me. Because no one's asking me if I'm okay, no one's laughing, so no one saw it. So I go in, I get the vacuum, I get back to my car, I'm like careful of the ice, I get back to the apartment, I go to get out of my car, and I feel like that slippery, and I'm like, not today, not again, Satan, not twice in one day. But Satan was like, oh, but you live on the 3rd floor, bitch. So I'm carrying this box up the stairs, and I trip up the stairs.
Oh, you know, it
Skinning
takes
my
a special
knees.
some kind of tequila to trip
But
up.
your boobs saved you, right?
The
Again,
first time they saved me. They didn't save me the second time.
I would think they'd fit right in the steps quite nicely, and that would be like the perfect spot.
Well, no, I caught
Not
myself, but
perfect.
the problem is the box like slid up the stairs, and then it came back down and hit me in the face. So it was like insult to injury. Satan was like, yeah, you said not again, but I said, haha,
Bang,
bitch,
bang.
you live on the 3rd floor.
That was the 1-2 piece.
All I wanted was a vacuum. That's all I'll show you the fucking vacuum. I'm gonna show you the vacuum because I
Oh.
went out and I hurt myself for the stupid fucking vacuum.
Oh my god.
This is the vacuum.
That's a nice vacuum.
It's a Samsung.
You
stick
should have
vacuum.
rode that bitch up the stairs.
You know we're old when we get impressed by vacuum cleaners.
What? I like appliances too.
I like them.
I know, like I did a lot of research on it, and I was like, "This is the one that I want." And I waited, and I waited, and I finally found a
And then
store
it
that had
knocked
it,
you
and
the
I was like,
fuck
"I'm
out.
gonna go get it."
It was like you worked real hard.
Let me
to
tell
get
you. So, I have a little vacuum story that
It's
happened.
always the vacuum.
Well,
Well,
Mine-
how does this one
She
go?
told you not to bother her while she was cleaning her room.
Well, mine was actually the fucking cord attacked me. My mother was here, thank God, because everybody would think Marvin would have beat me. But Marvin and my mother were in the kitchen, and I was pissed because I told him I didn't like the piece of shit Hoover vacuum cleaner that I had. It was about on its tip, on its last leg, and I didn't want it anymore. And I wanted a new one, but he wouldn't let me get one, so I was throwing a shit fit as I was vacuuming the living room. And when I got done vacuuming, as I slammed it into every fucking wall I could find, when I got done, I'm standing across the room and I grab a hold of that fucking cord as hard as I could pull it.
Oh no.
And that son of a bitch come back and it hit me right there.
Oh.
And it looked like I had a snake bite right there. I'm not shitting you. So I
You
had
can't
to go.
make that up.
Oh,
That
man.
motherfucker slapped you right in the face.
I'm telling you, when he got up and he come around the corner and seen me with blood streaming down my face, and I'm like, oh fuck!
Like I told everyone at work, I was like, who needs enemies when I can kick my own ass?
Oh, that's right. He said,
Yeah.
all he
What's your
said
gripe with this vacuum?
he said, I am so glad your mother's here. Because nobody would believe me in 100 years that I
you
didn't
did
do
it.
something to you.
Yeah, that
So-
you did it yourself.
The next week I had to go to the dentist, and I'm sitting in the dentist chair, and I'm pretty we know our dentist pretty well, and I'm sitting in the chair, and he said, so as he gets done taking care of me and everything, I'm getting ready to get up out of the chair, and he goes, so the next time Marv says shut up, maybe you should just shut the hell up, huh? I'm
You need to stop pissing that man off. You know?
Oh, before I forget, how I accidentally took shrooms.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, back
That-
to the
yeah, no,
song.
I mean,
Real
it's-
quick before you start it, Yankee. Hopefully we will see you next week. Good night, brother. Have a great weekend. Yes, Gutter is rocking it, doll, and Amanda's on here. The other Amanda's on here.
I'll be right
Everybody in
We
the
got
chat.
two Amandas. I'll be Amanda number 2 because
right.
that's
We
your
got a
wife.
double. We got a double Amanda night.
We'll see
You
next
know what?
time.
I go
She'll
by- I go
listen
by
too. You
Mandy
notice how
sometimes.
she's wearing a neck brace?
I will cut you in your sleep.
I go by
I'll be right
Mandy
back.
sometimes. Y'all can call me
You will.
Mandy. That's fine.
I'm only getting away with it because
I don't
you-
know, but the other Amanda's going to cut him, so just hold tight here. I think we're gonna get some more drama.
Yeah, you're gonna need an explicit rating.
We gonna
How the
see it.
hell- How did you accidentally take mushrooms? This
Oh,
is
so let me explain that to you. So, my ex, even though we were together at the time, but he's still like my best friend. Like he's still like, if I have a bad day, I'm like, tell me I'm not crazy. But no, at the time we were together.
Depends. Are you
and,
crazy?
Do what?
I said it depends. Are you crazy?
Well, she's fucking here.
I mean,
isn't
I
she?
feel like all females. I
I got
are
news
crazy
for
to an
you. You're
extent.
fucking crazy. But
we are.
we love that. I'm
If
just
you
kidding.
want a bitch that isn't crazy, then she ain't gonna be worth shit in bed. So take your pick.
Amanda too is gonna fly over and kick my. I'm gonna have 2 Amandas, double dose.
We're gonna gang up together.
The
Dude,
way
and they
you
both have
blow
big
my
tits.
door
You're
open,
so fucked.
I swear to God. All right. So how did you accidentally take
All right,
mushrooms
so
and
we've been
AZ?
out- so his
Beauty
DJ is our
awesome.
hookup for all things, recreational for purposes of not having this flagged.
Right.
And we've been asking for that for quite some time, and like sometimes it's hard to get. I mean, it just depends on like the area, the time of the year, blah 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 blah. And so he came home that night from work because he works out of town. And it was my Christmas party at work. Now, mind you, this is my career. Like, I'm in a nursing role for a major provider. And so I'm thinking that it's just edibles, like just weed. And I'm like, hey, why don't we eat these before we go to the party? And he was like, Amanda, out of everyone I've ever been around high, you are the most, it's written on your face, I'm high. And I'm like, no, you're right. So we don't take them. Then we wait.
Nobody
and
rob
then
a
it's
bank
Christmas.
with Amanda.
Yeah. Look, it is what it is. But
no, I'm good. Yeah, I'm just joshing you. Go ahead.
yeah, no, I mean, look, I like edibles. I don't smoke. I like edibles, but whenever I get to like a certain point, like there's no chill. There's no like, hey, chill. It's like, no, we're fucked. Like, this is who I am. But so it's Christmas Eve. I go to the gym. I come back, and it's me and him and my youngest. My oldest is with his dad, and we're like, oh, let's, you know, eat the edible because, you know, yay. And it's like midday, and we started watching the Joker movie. And I think even whenever you're not under the influence of anything, like that's a really depressing movie. But we're watching it, and I just remember I looked over, and like my child loves nutcrackers, so like our house is just like stacked full of nutcrackers. And I looked over, and like I'm looking at this nutcracker, and it looks like a kaleidoscope, but the nutcracker. And I was like, Troy, I don't think this was weed. And he was like, no, Taylor wouldn't do that to us. And I'm like, okay, but I'm telling you, I don't think this is weed. So then like 30 minutes passes, and he goes to the restroom. He comes back, and he was like, Amanda, I don't think this is weed. And I was like, no fucking shit, I just said that. So he texts Taylor, and he's like, no, of course, that's what you've been asking me for. He wasn't very clear on what he was delivering. So we had to ride that shit out. Now, luckily, for any of you who have done shrooms, it's not like an acid trip. It's not like you see a plant in the corner trying to eat you.
Not at all. It's
like,
the same thing with pot.
Yeah, it's like the walls are wavy. Everything is hilarious.
I'm not talking from experience.
I was pissed. I was like, where the fuck are the pink elephants? God damn it. I want
That's
pink
LSD.
elephants.
You want LSD.
See, someone gave you the wrong idea.
No, I don't.
LSD and shrooms are different. Like, they're
LSD
different.
will have you seeing shit. Shrooms is the same thing as marijuana.
Well, I thought I wanted to see things. If I would have ever said that, would have been it, dude. I would have.
No, with shrooms, like, first of all, with shrooms, like, you can drink a gallon of fucking vodka and you're never gonna get drunk. Something can be not funny, but you're gonna keep continuously smile. Like, once you are not high anymore, then like your jaw hurts. The walls, they look like they have like this water motion to it, and
yeah, the morphing.
Everything just looks like it's through a kaleidoscope.
It morphs. Now, I'll tell you, I found this one optic trick. Like, you look online, it's the only thing that actually makes it feel like you're on mushrooms. Not that I'm advocating for drug use.
No, I'm not either.
I've tried mushrooms,
They're all
and
the
mushrooms are of the earth. They're natural. They actually put my brain into a linear thinking pattern. Like, if you want to think deeply about anything, take mushrooms and think about it. It's absolutely amazing.
No, and they've even had studies where they're microdosing people with shrooms to help with anxiety and depression and like all of these different things. And the thing is, like, people are so afraid of shrooms, like they think it's like acid, right? Like, oh, I'm gonna jump off the balcony.
I know so many people that would rather do acid than mushrooms. I said, you're out of your fucking mind. You know,
those are the crackheads, and we don't talk to them.
Yeah,
exactly.
They don't sit with us.
Yeah, they don't get a sit at our table.
No.
Yeah, we wear pink on Wednesdays. Please.
I will tell you though.
Well, purple.
The first time I ever took mushrooms, I didn't know what to expect. I went to the bathroom at my friend's house, and he had these tiles that were like marble design.
Oh shit!
45 minutes later, I went back upstairs, and I'm just looking, and I'm like, hey, Bo, what's going on? He's like, where the fuck are you? You've been gone for an hour. And I just look at him. I'm like, dude, you have the coolest bathroom tile I've ever seen. By
you
the
fall
way,
in love with the most
did you know that
inanimate objects. You're just like, I love this
Never
table.
did anything for me. Never. I sat around going, come on, nothing.
You took some bad shrooms.
Mind
then.
you, let me tell you, I was at the Oregon Country Fair, and I don't know if you know what the fucking Oregon Country Fair is, but it's the hippie fair, and it's where everybody goes and they all do.
I live in Austin, Texas, where people use patchouli instead of deodorant. Like,
well, this is like the hippie central of, I like you cannot even imagine.
I'm a slight alcoholic.
Oh shit! Did you pull out a shot? She pulled out a shot.
All
right, here we go.
Drinker.
Gutter talk it is. We're going to call this one Gutter Nights. We're all going to wake up on the side of the road.
I'm sorry. I really did join on
I can't believe you've been juking us out of all this great gutter talk this whole time, Amanda. Oh my God. You know
Where the fuck have you been?
Rick is going to be livid when he's going to be like, "You bitch,
I
you
know.
just
I always
on
try to keep
their
it like
live, it's not
PG. Like
mine."
I've only been on his live like a couple of times, and I always try to keep it PG. But like it never. Look, I'll let you spark that conversation.
Oh shit! He knows if it's coming out of my mouth, it's getting sparked. That's all there is to it.
No.
He knows it.
You know what's funny is I actually broke up with my boyfriend over his live this past weekend.
Fuck out of here.
Oh yeah,
When he-
no, I did.
when he
Oh,
hung
we
up,
gotta
or
hear
what?
that story. There's a shout out to Rick.
All right, so thanks, Rick. But no, so the only reason I started watching Rick was because of my boyfriend at the time, right? Like he was sending me videos, and I was like, oh, I like this guy, so I subscribed. And so like then it got to a point where it was like, did you watch Rick without me? And I'm like, yeah. And like it was like pissed off, right? So we're on the live, the one where he cuts it off, and you know how like we all get to know each other's names, and it's just like, oh hey,
Right.
oh hey, you know. I've
And
said
we
hey
were
to
all
you
doing
plenty
that.
of times before I ever knew who you were.
Yeah.
And do not claw my couch, bitch.
Put
No.
tinfoil over it. Put tinfoil on it. I had to do that with Buster.
I have to put. I normally
It's
put
annoying.
nail caps on her nails.
So are
but I-
Italians with plastic, but the tinfoil, it's the new Italians, the new Python.
I
telling
normally
you.
use caps. I'm just a little late to the game, but anyway. So
So
no,
you
we're
watched
on
the live
and
without
then
him.
this
How
guy-
dare
this guy
you?
Michael-
You know?
This guy Michael, he's like, "Hey Amanda, how's it going?" And I respond, I was just like, "Hey Mike, hey Michael." Like that's literally all it was. Hey Michael. Next thing I know, Rick shuts down live, and then he's calling me, and he was like, "Oh, who the fuck are you talking to? Why are you saying hi?" And I was like,
As the man, I'm gonna say this. Sounds
it
like
to
an
our
insecure
Michael
little
on here?
bitch.
But there's
Sorry.
no way for me to like. It's not like I can click on his name and like instant message him.
Is it our Michael that's on here?
Oh, I don't know, Michael. If
Hey,
you're on
Michael, is
here
it you? Are
and
you
that was
being
you-
insecure?
No,
Because
Michael wasn't. No, Michael wasn't. She said goodbye, Michael, or whatever, and
No, I said, "Hey, Michael." Like that's
hey,
it.
Michael, and her boyfriend got all pissy about it, and
He
acted
got
like-
possessive. He got
Michael,
possessive.
is it
like
hurt
you're not
neck?
allowed to
Is
say
it hurt
hello to
neck?
guys. And I was like, I'm sorry, but I don't see a fucking ring on my finger.
Amanda.
Nor are you my daddy. So who the fuck are you to tell me who I can and cannot say hello to? Furthermore, I'm telling you, I should have been a lawyer in my past life. But furthermore, there's no way for me to instant message this man. There's no way for me to look up who this person is. There's no way for that person to look up me. And he's like, well, your first and last name is there. And I'm like, okay, so
Yeah,
they
no,
found me
that's
on
like-
Facebook.
that's like mine.
And they
There are
instant message
genuine
me. And then I
concern.
think, what, you're a creepy dude? And so I don't answer? Like, that's
like
honestly
he
what would
can,
happen.
whether you talk to him or not, he can see you on there. So, I
Yeah,
mean, whether
exactly.
you say hey or not, he can fucking see you. It shouldn't matter. So
Exactly.
is Michael's last name Hurtneck?
I don't remember her.
Well,
we
he's
get a lot
on
of
here
people
tonight.
through those chats.
All right,
so
Michael,
it's-
if you're on
yeah.
here and you said hello to Amanda and I said hello back to you, please, like,
You
just
broke
do like
her
a
up.
hand
Good
raise.
job,
Do like a
Michael.
hand
Damn
raise.
it. You
Michael,
owe her
Michael,
a
it's
steak
okay. We're not
dinner.
going to blow your cover. We don't care.
No,
Nobody's
no,
gonna come
but
hunt you down.
also, so no, I got so pissed off. I went and I packed up every little thing in this house that was his, and I drove it all the way. It was like a 45-minute drive, and I drove it to his house. I set it in his room, and I took a picture of it, and I sent it to him, and I was like, boom.
See ya, bitch.
Yeah, but that's crazy because he could see all the comments going back and forth, and if he doesn't understand the nature of you being in Rick's chat,
Exactly, and he's
Yeah.
been subscribed
that's
to Rick
crazy.
for
That's
years.
fucking crazy.
Yeah,
Years.
come on. I mean,
Amanda,
really.
Amanda joined in with me to say, "Who are these people you're hanging out with on YouTube?" And I'm like, "Come hang out. You'd love them."
Well, you know, I mean, there were comments where people would say things like, "Oh, Julie and Rick got to hook up," or anything like. My husband sits. I mean, I am talking the whole time. I'm saying the
Well,
comments.
there's
that are
been
going
times.
by. I mean,
Yeah.
there's
There's been plenty of times I've joined. Well, there's been a couple of times that I joined on Rick's, or like if Rick highlighted one of my comments, he was like, someone's always like, "Oh, Amanda's pretty," and I'm like, "You didn't fucking blow a gasket on that, but you're gonna blow a gasket because I said hey." I literally say
You're all
hey
pretty.
to anyone in
Doesn't
passing.
mean, yeah, doesn't mean shit. you know.
I'm like,
But you do have to be careful online because occasionally you get those creepers. But as far as us in the regular core of the crew,
yeah, but I mean, like, how are they going to contact me?
And
You
even
can-
if they do, here's the deal: you can go to a fucking store and some dude can dude. If you know what
Actually,
you're
I have
doing,
proof of that. Yes.
you just need to take care of
Yes.
yourself. That's what it is. It ain't. It don't matter if you say hi to Mike or whoever.
I've had a guy follow me out from a gas station into my car, and he proceeded to like try and block me, and that's when I realized I needed to like start carrying something. And I really wish I commented this on one of Rick's videos. I was like, I really wish that I could say like, oh, I stood up to the plate and I stood up for myself. But the honest truth is, I froze and I let the guy block me between me and my car. And then I had to make a police report later. It was like a whole thing. It was.
yeah, you ran into a pucker situation and you realized.
Yeah, because I was like, oh, maybe he has a knife. And maybe I say no, and maybe stabs
you're
me.
alive. You're alive, and you're all right. You know, sometimes it's not about proving a point. It's about what's best for survival.
Exactly. That's what I was trying to say earlier.
I
Like,
know.
that's not part of the
But that
vote.
wasn't the poll. The poll was if men were good.
I just
or
added a
bad.
third option. That's all. It was part of the poll. It was just a third
Survival
option.
is understanding that the nature of man is.
Here's how my husband considers it. If I get worked up over somebody in a chat, who the fuck am I going to take it out on?
You block them.
No. If I get worked up, if somebody gets me all horned up and excited, if that's what they're worried about,
I
who
don't
the
care
fuck
where
am
you
I
get
gonna
your.
take it out on?
I don't care where you get your appetite from, as long as you eat at home.
That's right.
100%.
But if he goes to a titty bar, I'll rip his dick off and feed it to his
If
ass.
he's there for the booze and the friend is the designated driver,
No, not even then. I better be the friend, being the designated driver, and then he can go all night long. But
well, if you're willing to go, because remember, it's either drunk, sloppy old bastards.
I
or
guess my whole
today.
thing with the whole
We do
boyfriend
like I do with her.
situation
We go out
is-
to bar grill restaurants, and then you're good to go because you got everything without the titties.
dude, there is nothing at a titty bar that Marvin that I can't.
What
I'm
about the
way
sticky
nastier
floor?
than I am.
That is very true. There is
way-
nothing there that you can't get at home, and I guarantee you,
Sticky
they are
floors?
all.
She wouldn't tolerate
especially
sticky
nowadays.
floors.
Like, oh my! You don't want to go to titty
I'm
bars.
gonna hand you over to the other Amanda. All right, so we got Amanda, and Gutter.
Michael isn't on anymore.
I'll go by
Michael.
Mandy if it makes it easier.
Michael left. he
No,
ran.
no, you're both Amanda. We got the Amandas. Let them decipher it. We'll find out what kind of fans they are. There's two Amandas. There's Amanda and Amanda.
I don't think either one of them are
There's
concerned.
no one or two.
No.
You're
There's
not
both
getting a
Amandas.
mud. You're not getting a mud fight. So shut the fuck up.
Yeah, mud gets in all the wrong places.
No, but
Jello,
Jell-O
I would
is
It
consider.
was my birthday. I never
Jello,
get what I
Jello,
want.
we can consider. We can consider
Jello
Jello.
isn't that bad
Unbelievable.
if it's done correctly.
Just because you got an app brace means you can't mud
Okay,
fight
but
another dancer.
We do have to wait until. Amanda gets out of the neck brace before.
Bullshit,
Yeah.
that would be
Very
interesting.
true. Although I
mean-
will say all of it's very fake fighting. I'll be gentle. We can use Jello, which is like a natural lubricant.
Yeah, Jello is perfectly fine, and then some
Right, maybe
baby
it's not a
oil on
natural
slip and
lubricant,
slide right into the pool.
Happy birthday, me.
Oh, if y'all ever want to learn some pole tricks, just let me know.
Oh, dude.
I choke on
That could
air.
be
I
fun.
don't need to be on a pole.
I've literally taught men how to do like pole tricks. Like
I
it's so
used to
easy.
be able to do
Everyone
the
looks
up-
at pole tricks and they're like, "Oh,
I
how do
personally
you do
can
that?"
upside
It does
down
look hard.
spin down a pole.
So he's gonna be the moneymaker.
I
I'll
got
hold the
offered a
funds.
job at Chippendales once. That was before I got my teeth knocked out in the bar brawl.
Dude,
I gotta tell you, there's nothing about male strippers that turn me off more. I don't know. It's just like a that
Yeah.
thing. Like
I didn't
I
take the
dated-
job.
I
didn't
dated a
can't.
male stripper when I was very young and he wasn't.
Oh God.
I just feel like they're supposed to be felt, not seen, and so like let's just keep it that way.
Well, I have an OnlyFans account. It's called Only Yams, and you can
Well,
watch
I'm
me
gonna start
harvest
one where I
turnips.
eat talk.
You can see me in my garden harvesting turnips, and if you're not in the vegetables, get the fuck out of here.
What if I like carrots? Is that still a thing?
Well, those are
Oh, no.
spring and fall plants. They don't germinate in the heat of the summer, so you can see one.
Well,
you
I
can
don't like
see my
germs.
carrots in a couple of months, and then you have to wait.
I don't like germs. I'm not sure that's the kind of germ that he's talking about, but I'm more into cucumber side. I kind of like that whole prickly thing.
Like a
You like
prickly
pricklies?
pear, or like a prickly chest, or like a
Like a prickly cucumber.
Oh, cucumbers they're tough.
Ribs for her pleasure.
I
Check out that
All
cat.
right, I'm
Dude.
gonna
Yeah,
digress
she's
from
got the
this.
zoomies.
You girls take it over. We are
That-
officially at gutter
I
talk.
would probably get a cat if I could have a hairless cat. I'm telling you, I do not want animals in my
'Cause it
house.
feels like a
but
ball
that
sack.
is one. Look at him. Look at him.
It's cute. Look at the ears.
If you felt it, have you ever felt one?
No.
I own a ball sack.
thought you were asking me. I was like,
understand
yeah.
how it feels. That's
like,
how
yeah,
she
bitch.
compared it.
They feel like humans. It's just like human skin. Like she's completely hairless. Like on
Now
her
it makes
tail,
sense
there's a
that
little
they're
bit
smart because they say that human knowledge is.
I'm trying so hard to laugh and.
Oh,
not-
sorry. Oh shit, I forget. I'm not mean to hurt you. We should
No,
have.
it's okay.
She's bionic now.
I
Don't-
know, but we want her to heal good. We do not want to cause more issues.
Dude, like that's what I was saying earlier. Like science is mad. Like the fact that like they were like, oh, we're just gonna take a bit from here and we're gonna use a little piece here and like you're
Oh,
all
I
good.
woke up and I
And
was
now
like,
like you're
what's the
basically
bandage on my
iRobot. You
hip?
can take over the world.
But if you guys haven't, I don't have a picture. I wonder if I have a picture in here of my husband's hand. My
what?
husband's hand looks like this.
So he's constantly on the phone?
No,
Yeah, he lost his fingers. No.
he lost his
Or he's
fingers in a
continuously
logging
rocking
accident.
on. He's like rock on forever.
All the time.
Just rock on.
So what happened was he lost his fingers in a logging accident, and it took off everything from here.
Oh.
So he only had his pinky. And they
As
took
somebody that has done logging, though, that's fucking insane work. I've done it, and I'm telling you, it is insane. Odes to your husband, and tell him one day to get on. I'm gonna bid you all adieu and let the two Amandas and Gutters take over the next bit. You girls,
So
God
we only
bless
had
you.
the-
Wait, it's only gonna sound better if we say if the two Amandas, it's like Mortal Kombat. Finish her.
finished her off.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, tell.
So, anyways, it took off all of this part of his hand, and then they took his, they put his hand in his stomach so they could keep the circulation going.
Yeah.
And then they took it out of his stomach, and they took part of a flap of his stomach where the fatty part is, and they put it right here.
Oh wow.
And they put his big toe on his right hand, his right big toe on his right hand. So
Wow.
now he has this.
How long ago was this?
34, 35 years ago.
Oh, so it's all healed up and
Oh yeah. He then became an airplane pilot and an airplane mechanic.
God bless them.
And that's what he does for a living and has for 30 years.
Wow.
He never took he didn't take any disability, none of that shit.
Yeah.
The coolest
I've been-
story
I've
I
been-
have is I broke my foot at the start of COVID because I was chasing my child to take a shower and hit it on the door frame. So your husband's a badass where I'm just, like a bitch.
Oh yeah. Well, I got to tell you, a few weeks ago, I broke my toe. I come around the corner and I hit it on a chair that sits right by my refrigerator, and it's not like it's new. It sat there for 30 fucking years, but for some reason today it was new to me, and I decided that I'd go ahead and rip off my pinky toe, and it literally, you know how your toes are like this, Well,
Yep.
this toe was
Oh my god, I have
completely
such a funny
finished.
Yeah.
story.
And when I turned it back, when I put it back this way, I had to literally rotate it to get it to go straight.
Yep. I did the
Marvin,
same thing.
I thought Marvin was going to piss himself.
So I did mine at the start of COVID, and I remember I took a picture of my toe and I sent it to my Dr. Ong, and I was like, so my toe, it was at the beginning of COVID. So I was like, my pinky toe is displaying social distancing from the rest of their toes.
Yeah.
What should I do? And he was like, you need to go to the ER. I was like, fuck that, I'm not going to the ER, because of course it was the beginning of COVID. We're all scared of it. And then, so I went the next day to like a walk-in clinic, and of course, so I took like 10 shots that night and reset it myself. And then I went in, and the chick told me, she was like, so you reset this yourself? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, how'd you do that? And I was like, 10 shots of tequila. And she was not happy with that answer. But however, she didn't have to reset it. They just gave me a boot. But
I didn't even go to the doctor. I did it immediately. As soon as it happened, I walked over, sat on the couch. Marvin looked at it. He kind of got green. I said, I gotta fix this. So you can either look away or watch me do it. And he goes, well, what are you going to do? And about that time, I grabbed a hold of it, twisted it, pulled it back over.
Well, I had never broken anything. So I needed to make sure that it was done correctly.
Well, and the reason that you do it quick, Amanda, is because you're in shock right at that point, and
you don't feel it
happen. Yes, so it's a lot less painful if you do it right away.
I got
I'm
my
pretty sure the
toe
tequila
stuck
helps with the pain
in the
aspect,
grooves
but-
of the deck.
I need another shot. You fucking women got this man over here fucking screaming.
No.
Fuck you,
Yeah,
other
how are y'all holding up?
I got my.
Actually, let me formally introduce myself, Amanda.
I got
This
my
is
toe
Amanda.
stuck in a deck, in the planks of a deck.
Whoa.
So I was running in, I was babysitting, I was a kid, and the kid went to jump in the pool from a trampoline, but the pool had a gate around it and the pool was covered. So I was like, I gotta get this kid before she goes in. So I go, and I didn't even realize that my toe had it got eaten by the deck. And I'm in the pool wrapped in this I have the kid, I have this big giant bubble from
Look at him
the
counting on his
cover.
fingers.
It was a hot mess express. So once I go in the house, I realize my toe is just chilling, just like hanging out. And I was like, oh crap, like we're both
He's gonna
soaked.
stop with the hand movements.
I'm like, we're both drenched. I'm like, okay, so now I gotta put this thing. So I moved it back. It was literally hanging. It doesn't move. It just hangs out with my other toes now.
Oh yeah, no.
It doesn't do anything.
I have broke my toes so many times. I learned real quick. You just grab that bitch.
That was
rip
my
it around.
first broken bone though.
Oh
But they
yeah,
don't-
you want to
keep
do it right
going
away.
with it set, but they don't do anything. You get charged out the ass.
That's all the fuck I gotta say.
Yeah, it's not pretty, but I mean, you have
No.
to do it. Once you do it, though, you realize it's like, oh, I just saved myself like $800.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Literally.
Because
How
all
much
they're
did it
gonna
cost
do is
you?
they're gonna X-ray it. Oh, it's broken or it's dislocated. We're gonna throw some tape on it. Here's a roll of tape to take home. Ice it.
Well, Amanda, how much did it cost you to go to the doctor to find out that you broke your toe, which you already
I guess
fucking
I'm
knew?
bougie because it didn't cost me anything to go there, and then she just literally told me like they X-rayed it, and she was like, I can't reset it better than you did, so they sent me home.
My husband has to have a hernia surgery. He went in the other day. He went for an office visit and a new patient visit. Basically, it's one visit.
Good,
Yeah.
because
They
I need
put it
the
in
hernia
too.
surgery. Let's hear this.
After the insurance, $587.
What is your insurance? Oh, wait, time out. Real question. What's your
Yeah, I
insurance?
need to write this down. Hang on,
Blue
because
Cross Blue Shield.
That's what I have.
Of what state?
Well, it's of Washington because that's where.
All right. So what is your deductible and what is your plan? Is it deductible? Is it?
oh
the
Jesus Christ! Just save that for a private chat. We're live on the internet web.
No. This isn't HIPAA. This isn't
If it's
HIPAA
that
related.
good of a
I'm
plan, it'll
giving
be
I'm giving
Yank
actual
tomorrow. They'll be
advice
like,
here.
we're
Like
giving
literally,
out
this is
that.
my day-to-day job. I'm telling you. So, like, do you have a high deductible or is it
Yes.
like a
Yes.
is a PPO or an HMO?
I think it's a PPO, and it's $4,000.
Shit, that's what did
Yeah.
you in? It's a PPO.
Yeah. Well, and we do have HSA. I mean, we put tons of money away in the HSA.
I would love to
specifically for
fight that bill for you. I was known as the PA queen. There's not a single prior authorization or a single denial that I did not fight and I did not win. Like, I have cases.
I do know that, man, if you know what you're doing when it comes to the insurance and you know the questions you ask and you know how to do it, you can fight a lot of them and get them
Oh
reduced.
no, for sure. Like, I know how to bullshit my way through insurance because I know exactly what it is that
You don't
they
have to
deny
bullshit
and
it.
why
You
they
can
deny
fight
it.
it. It would be easy.
And I this is gonna sound a little sexual, but I don't mean it sexual, but I got off on the fact that to this day, I do not have a single denial case. There was one case that I fought for 8 months, and the medication that I was fighting for, it was $800,000 a year. $800,000 a year for that medication, and I fought them for 8 months, and I won. And
Gotta
I'm
make
super
you
proud
to
of
the
that.
main screens. We're gonna step out for a second. We'll be back.
Okay.
Make you to the big ones. Yeah.
No, I'm willing to look at anybody's records, and I'm willing to write letters for anybody because I'm sorry, but insurance, it's a fucking fraud, and I fucking hate it. And I'm sorry, but people don't ask to be born with conditions that they have, and so that's why I fight as hard as I do. And I mean, given I fight for children because like SMA. I'm not going to go into it. If you want to Google it, it's SMA. There's different grades. But, no, like, I mean, like, that's thousands of millions of dollars.
Yeah.
And I fight for it, and I make sure that they get it. And that's why I was known around the clinic as the PA queen, because any prior authorization that you couldn't get, give it to Amanda. Amanda can get it.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
I will definitely keep you in mind because, I mean, it's going to cost us an arm and a leg here coming up. When I mean,
yeah, no,
if
you were to give me your medical records, and if you were to give me the like whatever it is that you're needing, and the CPT codes, which the billing aspect could give to me, and then give me the CPT codes, I got it. I'll get it covered. It might take me 6 months, at the worst 6 months, but I'm gonna get it covered. I don't know. I get off on that shit. I'm like, ha, I won. Mm-hmm. Ha, bitch.
See, my daughter, she worked for a lawyer's office, and she's a legal assistant, and she really got in deep with the whole legal system. And I mean, she just happened to fall into it. The guy, her boss met her at the bank where she worked at, and he wanted her to come to work there, and that's how she literally became a legal assistant. I mean, that's how I thought that was pretty cool that he was willing to.
I mean, you find opportunities in like the places that you think that you won't, for sure.
Yeah.
And like whenever I was going to school, I had to do like they call it extern hours, meaning like basically free hours. And that's where this company that I work for now, I did my free hours there. And before I was done with my hours, they hired me and offered me a job. And so I've been there now for 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And now, like I said, I went from an MA medical assistant to a nurse to my cat just messed with my computer to now I'm a manager, which honestly, I'm not going to lie, being a manager sucks.
Well, because you're on call usually, and you never away from the shit.
Everyone's like, oh, your salary. I'm like, yeah, that means I work
exactly
like 6 hours a week.
Yeah, where you get overtime, I don't. I only did one salary job, and I learned real quick I ain't never doing that shit again. I took such a pay cut by the time I got done with all the hours I worked. I started out as a caregiver. I went
like
just a caregiver in an assisted living.
Oh, okay.
So I started out there. Then once I went
did you have your CMA or like a CNA or a CCNA?
No, in Oregon you don't have to do none of that. You work in assisted living.
Oh wow.
Yeah, no certification unless you work in a nursing home or a hospital. You don't.
But you were doing like at home health?
No, it was inside. They hired me there. I went and worked a 9 to 5 job, I worked 6 to 2.
It's so crazy how price stays different.
Then
right? That's crazy.
Well, yeah. And then I went and did resident care coordinator. First I started passing medications. I was able to so I passed all the medications for the whole building. And
in
then
Texas, you have to be an RN for that.
Yes, see, not in Oregon.
That's crazy.
And what it is the nurse, you have an RN over the building that designates you for all of those tasks. So any of those tasks that you have to do, there's an RN that oversees and makes sure you know what you're doing before they just she doesn't just let you loose.
Yeah.
Then I became a resident care coordinator. So I was the one that did all the med sheets, all the Mars came through me, all the meds came through me first. I dialed them all out so they were given at the right times and they were putting the med, all that shit. I did all that. Then I decided that I was going to be a administrator of an assisted living. So I went to a class and got my administrator's license. And then I went and became, the best job I ever had was resident care, just a minute. It takes me a minute to think of it. I didn't get to be it that long. And it's basically where your residents tell you what they want and you do everything you can to give them what they want.
So basically like a customer associate or like
basically
customer representative associate type of
Did you
thing?
deal with the families or the patients?
The patients, and it was basically when they
you're a floor resident.
Well, it was
not like that. Not like that. No, she handled the life. She handled the back end of their life, and so like their needs and wants. But she was like a voice for them and assisted in like, okay, we're not going to do this, we're not going to do that. So it's actually a higher power.
Well, and what it was nice was I got to do, I can't even believe I gave up the job because it was a job where they basically opened it up for me. And so
you're an advocate for the patients.
Exactly. That's exactly what it was. And what it was I was like Make-A-Wish. It was like Make-A-Wish Foundation. So they would say, like one lady, she'd moved in there, she'd been there for 3 months, and the woman would not, she wouldn't come out for dinner or lunch or breakfast or anything.
And you can't have that.
And they couldn't figure out, well, they can do that, but they would rather they come out and socialize somewhat.
Yeah.
Well, so the family wanted to know why. They couldn't figure out why she wouldn't. So finally, when I came to work there, I went in. She was one of the first ones I dealt with. And I sat down and just visited with her. And she said the reason she didn't go out for dinner was because they kept putting her fucking toilet paper on wrong. She was mad because they were putting her toilet paper under and she wanted it over, and that's all she wanted.
Well, that's what her life quest became at that point.
She ate every meal out at the dining room after that. One lady, she was dying. She was really close to dying. And here in the Portland, Oregon area, they have what's called the Rose Festival.
You big dummy. There you go.
Yeah, you big dummy.
You big dummy. Yeah, no, make sure the chat knows I'm not calling you a dummy.
Anyway, so
they should already know. I feel like anyone that's here is gonna know.
That's
I
right.
hope so. So this woman finally started eating out in the dining room after all of that.
Yeah. But this is on to another one. There was one lady that wanted to go to the Rose Festival parade before she died. That's all she wanted. So we got her. Not only did we get her to go because she was one of the first queens at the Rose Festival celebration back in like 1948 or some shit. So she got to go ride on the float, and it was like 3 weeks before she passed away. She got to go ride the float the whole bit. She got to be the oldest queen ever on there, the whole bit. It was really cool.
That's beautiful when someone's dying wishes like that. Like that's it really is. It there's no, I don't know how to explain it. There's no better feeling than.
Can I have a question real quick? And it's going to sound like a dick question.
Go ahead.
All right. What's his name?
Bobby.
All right.
Is that right, Ash? Got it right?
Well,
Jen.
I was a little bit.
Ash?
Who are you talking about?
Kidding. The Amandas. I was
You're
messing up
such a
your name.
smart ass.
I was being an ass.
There. There.
It's a Long Island trait. There, I blame my culture.
Now you can see what his name is.
So we have Bobby, and then who was the other guy?
Nick was the other guy sitting beside him.
All right. Just trying to get the names correct.
Yep.
Bobby's with Amanda.
Yes.
Yes.
And Nick is my buddy who I keep trying to talk into getting back into his podcast. He really is a great podcast host. He does mostly music.
I thought he was funny. I probably, look like a troll right now because I'm not.
Me and him
makeup,
are going to be on a lot of my
next
lives.
time, maybe we can, exchange some information.
Oh yeah, no worries.
Oh, well, are you talking about hooking up? Listen, I'm protective. He's my little brother. Right now, if your intentions are well-meaning...
I'm so offended. Where do I start?
I don't know. I'm getting to know you. You say I'm not your average.
Well, I literally, broke up with a guy because they were
If
possessive.
you're here, you're one of the
clearly I'm not about that.
So you got that going for you. Yeah.
But maybe I just want to see a better picture than him because maybe, I don't know, your setup's not that great and I really can't see his face. And so.
Don't break his heart. That's all. He's a boy that can use some genuine love.
Because I'm a
and
man
I don't want to see my boy
eater.
get taken for a ride again.
Because I'm a man eater. Okay, what do we got for comments? Before I forget what we're doing.
Exactly.
My father cut his thumb off with a chainsaw. They sewed it back on. Yeah, that can happen. My husband's was a
Holy
little more.
shit.
Yeah, my husband's was a little more drastic than that. My dad cut his pinky off and they just left it off. Dang, your husband is a soldier, gonna grow. I have to say, man, you have to hand it to my husband.
Yeah.
He had to learn to walk again. He had to learn all that, and he wouldn't do physical therapy. He learned to walk it. They cut his toe off, so it wasn't just his hand dealing with it. Plus, he had 9 doctors working on him at one time.
I got one finger that don't work after I broke it, and that ain't shit. It's like, motherfucker, you got your hand. That's God. Oh my God. From one man to another. God bless you, brother. God bless you.
Nettie says, hi, y'all. Ashley said pinky toes are the worst. They are the worst.
Yeah, apparently you don't feel them. Look down when you walk. Just look down.
Love y'all. Farm time, she says. Oh my God, farm time?
For the record, just because someone brought up insurance, I don't care who any of you are. If you want to reach out to me to help you with covering, whether it's a medication or a procedure or any type of labs, if you want to reach out to me for help, I will help you because that is honestly my calling.
But
I will help
like
you.
in a comment and I'll send you a message or something.
Yes, I will help you. I will help you 100%. I will teach you how to beat the system that
and
is.
in America, not America, the Communist Republic of New York. To move on with my career, I got to do this
feel
whole
like that's my
fucking
calling
back
is I want to
thing.
help people learn how to beat them. I've been so I wish I could post here some of the letters that I've sent. They are so condescending. I literally talk down to these people. And
No,
they're
don't do
doctors.
that.
They're
It ain't about that.
doctors
It's
who
about
review
knowing.
this shit,
It's
and I
about
talk down
knowing
to
where
them.
I can obtain employment without knowing that the law is on my side. I don't want to. I'm not trying to scrap with companies. And then, if you piss them off, why would you even want to work there? They got a thing out for you. It's just one of those, if by the time it comes down that I got to move to a position where they require the vax, what are the options otherwise? I've had COVID. I've been employed with you for a while. I'm an asset to your company, and you're going to fire me because of this, that they're pulling back all the mandates. So I'm trying to ride it out up here. Otherwise, I'm going to have to move.
The
and go
great
to
thing
somewhere
about
where
if
the
you
vaccine
fall into getting vaccinated for your career or your job, if something
that.
comes up in 20 years, 10 years, 5 years, that, oh shit, whatever, then you have a massive lawsuit on your hands. So you make the
If they
risk
honor
of
them.
taking the vaccine, but then you also have a chance of making $5 million.
Hey. No, it's not. I'm already going.
I'm saying
thinking
if
about
you
that
make
route,
that
but the
choice,
problem
if.
is, it's what the courts honor. We'll see. I think
Ashley
we got
says,
bigger
what if
problems.
it's gone into collections?
What if it's gone into collections? Okay,
Medical
so if
pay?
you have medical bills that have gone into collections, unfortunately, that means that the collection agency has basically bought
is
the
it?
debt. So say you owe a doctor's office $350, right? This collection agency came in and bought out the $350. So the doctor was paid, or it's not the sole doctor, it's the whole practice that was paid $350. They bought that out, so it's now their debt. So if it's gone to collections, it's still the same amount. It's just someone who is willing to buy out that debt. And every practice differs. There's some practices, it's like anything over $10 we send to collections. And then there's some practices, it's like, oh, anything over $1,000 we send to collections. So,
Well, isn't that how they crashed the housing market, by selling them without them looking through the piles?
well,
So
I'm
the
just
going
letting
rate
them know, like,
for
that's
a
what the
lending
difference is. And so if
package
it goes
was
to
a certain
collections,
amount.
then it's basically, it's the same debt, but someone else bought it to where it's their debt. And that's why they are harassing you.
She said, I understand that part. I just don't get how he's getting the bills from them and when
Just
he
throw 'em
didn't
out.
get them from the
Throw
hospital.
them out.
I feel like there were other comments that would have explained that better, because that's not the full story, so therefore I can't comment on that.
Okay. Because my wife passed away, and then when they were giving me all these bills after the fact, I was like, no, I'm not.
I mean,
I'm not paying
unfortunately,
them.
and this is going to sound very cold-hearted, and I don't mean, this is not my opinion, I'm just telling you fact. Even if someone
we like
dies,
facts here.
those hospital bills still are a thing.
Yeah, but they
I
don't
don't
affect
agree with
me.
it. I don't agree with it. Don't hate me. Don't come for the messenger.
No, they don't affect me. I told them to shove off. I was like, you're billing my deceased wife. I'm not paying these bills. She died on your watch. You're lucky I don't fucking sue you. And
I mean, yes, I agree.
I just threw them all out. I wrote deceased on every page and sent it back. Deceased, deceased, deceased. I'm not paying you.
I mean, there are definitely ways that you can definitely fight it. And although I've never had to
I was
fight
also
something,
angry.
however, I will say that
28.
I'm
I
really
was
great
pissed-
at
or
writing
20
letters. I can write you a
28,
letter.
I was 28. I watched the hospital kill my wife. I was pissed off. I refused to pay anything.
What was her
And
cause
they
of
all
death?
shut the fuck up
Can I just
and
ask
thanked
what was
me
her
for
cause of
not
death?
suing them. If I knew I could sue them, I would have. You know.
What happened, Bobby?
What was her cause of death?
Well, she had gotten diagnosed with breast cancer, and they're like, "You're young. We want to do this experimental treatments on you." They were playing God, thinking that because she was so young and healthy, they have some sort of window of opportunity to experiment.
So I have a few questions, and I hope it doesn't trigger you.
Hold on. I'm not done explaining it.
Okay,
These
continue.
two might answer a lot more questions. I was about a second opinion. Go to Sloan and Kettering. Stop playing lab rat with your body. It started a lot of arguments. And I didn't know I could even sue the doctor for giving us back false readings on the test until I only had a couple of months. And I couldn't get things together quick enough for malpractice. If any of those, I think they probably answer a lot of the questions you had.
So
What were your
so when
questions?
she was diagnosed, what stage
Yes.
was she?
She was diagnosed.
But like what stage?
4.
4. Okay. So with cancer, it's like 1 out of 5. So there's that. And then had it mastitized through her body?
It was just starting to metastasize, but instead of going the conventional treatment, they were like, "You're young, you're healthy.
the
we
reason I
want to
ask is
try a
because
new
once
thing, sign off on it." And I said,
The
get a
reason I
second
ask is
opinion.
because once it's mastitized, there's different routes, right? So
Oh, I
like
know.
if it
Trust me,
hasn't
I've done my homework.
yeah.
I know. At this point, I understand cancer very well. This was the problem.
I do as well.
This was the problem. Every time I said get a second opinion, it was an argument. She trusted this one doctor. He had treated her cousin, her mother, both of which died. I was like, well, he doesn't have a good track record in my book. Go to Sloan and Kettering. And we would argue about it, and I'm like, go to Sloan and Kettering. You don't need to be a fucking lab rat. You're trying experimental shit. And in the same hour I signed the marriage license, I found out for the first time what her test results really were. The doctor had been lying. And, you know.
Okay, so I just want to challenge this a
He
little bit,
played
and not
God.
because it's
You could
vindictive.
challenge whatever you want, ask whatever questions.
It's not
I'm open.
vindictive. It's honestly just knowledge. Okay. So whenever you say experimental, what do you mean by that?
She was part of a test subject to get it approved.
So it was very clear there were papers signed that
it wasn't an approved treatment, but they figured she was young enough that they're like, you know what? You're healthy enough to be able to withstand some practice.
That's paperwork that you have to sign.
She did.
Because we also...
Yeah. No, I had no say in it.
So she did. Okay. I'm just making that clear. I'm not... This is not me attacking.
Shoot, I'm not. I'm fine.
Yeah,
I'd just rather get through it kind of quick. You know, I'm sitting here in front of my girlfriend to talk about my exes kind of...
Well, no, I mean...
but we're there, so there's a lot of people that might be able to hear these perspectives, and it helps. So
no, for sure, and that's where I think, like, anything that comes to healthcare, like, I definitely feel like that's my niche. That's where I'm going to be able to give you, like...
Okay, so what's your next question for me? I'll tell you how I handle it, and...
Yeah, no, I'm asking, like, some simple, basic questions. I mean, nothing...
Okay, what's your next question?
So, all right, so she signed off the papers for experimental treatment.
Yes,
but
I had no say in that.
It was a stage 4.
Yes.
And I don't know that I'm comfortable saying what I am feeling.
Well, we're here, so say it. Other people could deal with real shit. That's why we're all here. Yeah. Ask it now.
It's hard when it comes to a stage 4. Like, okay, so my mother, she was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's follicular lymphoma. She was a stage 3, and
yeah, you know, it's about to metastasize and take over.
No, it had metastasized, and then she recovered. Why? That's a whole.
What was your question? I'm sorry about your grandmother. I really am, but. No, if you want to keep me in this mindset, I'm anxiously awaiting to get through the questions.
So I was asking questions based on...
My condolences about your grandmother. We watch what cancer does. You watch a loved one get eaten alive. It's like, you know, it's torture. It's like dementia.
No. I don't mean that at all. I don't mean that.
You can't take it away from them. There's nothing, especially if they're fighting you about it. Always get second opinions, and we are so far advanced with them.
Hold on. I was basically asking the questions. So if I were to take a patient in, and it was like their first time, I would ask. So all the same questions that I asked you is the same type of questions that I would ask my first time patients, because you have to get like a medical history in order to figure out like what's going on, right? So I was just. I have a very, I have a lot of experience with cancer. As I said, my mother, whenever I was about 9-10 years old, she was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's follicular lymphoma, which is a blood disorder.
I'm very sorry to hear. It is.
And so that I dealt with that. But then in 2017, oh God, I could look at his, it doesn't matter. My dad was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. So, and he only lasted 4 months. So I have 2 parents who have died from cancer. But the thing is with my particular provider that I worked with, he worked a lot in there was a lot of genetics involved, right? So we would swab for genetics like all the time, right? And so like you figure out things because genetics have
swab, not squat, right? We gotta keep a little gutter in this bitch.
Well,
I'm listening.
But that's
go ahead. I was literally just throwing that out.
The questions that I asked you is nothing different than what I would ask a patient if they were in the room. It just gives you like a basic medical background, and it gives you like an idea as to like what you should.
What had happened was basically she was told that she was young. The doctor kept telling her that her results look good and she can get away with trying experiments to benefit the future. But they killed her with it and lied to her about the tests, and I didn't know until I got back to hospice. They're like, you need to sign a DNR. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then I could have sued the doctor for malpractice, but the statute of limitations had ran out.
I would love to, and you don't have to do this. You don't have to do this at all. But if you're comfortable, pull medical records, send them to you, and I can tell you exactly what happened, exactly what went on.
Oh, I know what happened. Instead of getting
I know
treated,
it's easy to say
she
that
took
as a
microspheres.
loved
I
one.
was there I sat in the waiting rooms for hours waiting. I moved into hospitals. I lived at fucking hospitals.
And you might be completely correct. And I would love to.
The problem was there's no recourse at this point in time.
No,
and
for one, number one, there's not, because they get away with all kinds of shit. They can do whatever
I mean,
the
but
fuck they want.
there's also protocol. There's so
and
like,
they
literally,
breached a lot of it. And if I knew then what I know now, all I learned, and this is what I take away from it, you need to take every fucking moment.
I can give you insight as to, like,
cool
if you think that someone did something wrong, I can prove to you how you can prove
I know.
It gets us.
You could ask. You could ask better. I'm pretty well. I'm cool with the science. We could break it down. This isn't about my.
This has nothing to do with science. This has to do with.
This isn't about my late wife.
What is their
what this
electronic
is
medical
about
record?
Is more about.
No, I'm telling you, like, what is their EMR? What is their EMR? Because our EMR, like, even if you were to close it or say hello, it doesn't matter. Every move you make is time stamped with a person stamped. So if someone is, that's what I'm saying is like, if you let me know a little bit what's going on, is because you can get into the EMR and you can see everything that everyone has touched, and you can see if someone did her dirty, because it would be time stamped with a name stamp.
Yeah, it's so. I'm telling you, I've been through that whole thing. My mom
we'll
died
have a
in the
different
same
discussion.
hospital.
Come on over to my channel for that discussion.
Yeah.
But this is gotta
Well, not
talk
even your
Tuesdays.
channel, just
We
like a
need to
phone
do
call,
more
because I would
cuts of fun.
love to give you the information to give you so you can get down to the bottom of whatever it is that you're needing. And I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm not saying that at all.
Well,
What I'm
it's
saying
too late
is
to do
everything
anything.
is, that's the whole point of an EMR, is everything is time stamped and name stamped. So even if it's just like they shuffled it to another person.
You're talking about years. It's already beyond that. I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about what I took away from my life experience, which is to.
But
see
it would give you
every
closure.
moment.
It would give you closure. And I
I
would
got
be
my
willing to help you with
closure
that.
learning how fragile life is, and how you got to
Yeah,
be careful about the medical system. And you know what? You got to learn that sometimes life ain't perfect, and if you really love that person,
You know what
you're
I
gonna
learned
go through
many,
some
many years
shit.
ago?
You're not gonna end up with all fingers and all
You
toes
better
by the
plan
end
on
of
being
it.
your own doctor. That's what you better plan on. Number one of all things, you better plan on being your own doctor, because there isn't a fucking doctor out there.
That's basically
or any
where
other
I'm
human
getting at.
that knows you like you know you.
See, God knows how to cut right to the point.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I have to disagree.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry.
It is
I've
fun.
worked around the medical field for
But I work in
25
neuro. You have to think.
and
I
they
have to work
did
in I work in
nothing.
Okay,
neurology,
let me
where
ask you a
people have-
question.
the
Let me ask
majority
you a
of our
couple
patients have
qualifying
seizures.
questions.
The
Here's
majority of our
where we
patients
go.
have seizures, and so the
I will
majority of our
play
patients,
nice.
like, we're working on controlling their seizures.
Okay.
So, I mean,
What area of the medical field is your specialty?
neurology is my specialty.
So nerve function, brains, and impulse to muscles, and motor skills and control.
No,
Neurology.
there's a
Basically,
there's
it's the brain impulses through your nervous system.
There's a little bit of a difference.
The communication between your body and your brain. Your brain cells. Neurology.
Well,
is
if someone
brain
is
cells.
seizing uncontrollably and we have to insert it anally, diastat, I would say
I don't
that's
know where we
not.
get. You
Like
said
Drew
anal.
said,
There's
we've already
medical.
dug into it back enough.
Well, that's
This
how
is
you
not-
insert diastat for someone who's seizing uncontrollably, is you insert it.
Not talking about season.
Well, that's what we specialize in. That's what I was saying, is like our specialty is seizures.
Yeah.
And then we have like an umbrella of encephala. I can't say it.
You don't mean encephalophagus?
No, that's how I pronounce
Elephantitis.
encephalophagus. But that's not how. Do not fucking claw on my couch.
Yeah.
No, that's how I fucking
That's just like,
pronounce
okay, I
it.
feel the tension. It's like, I can feel
gotta
it.
think about
Do
what
the
I'm
fucking
saying
wave,
because
man.
I don't want to get them banned, but it has to do with virology and epidemiology. If you catch my drift.
I agree, Jen. Me either. And I'm not fucking going. And I'm in exactly. I'm so with you, Jen. You couldn't fucking pay me enough to go to a doctor. They did.
Yeah.
They do nothing
Your
but.
friend asks you, so how are you? And you're like, I was fine till I went to the doctor.
You
Then
know
they told
what?
me I
My
had all this
mother-in-law
shit.
for-
I didn't have any of this shit before I went to the doctor.
For 40 years, man, my mother-in-law went to the doctor all the time, religiously, and they pumped her up with all kinds of medications constantly.
I watched them play
Finally,
God.
she
Yeah.
realized to stop taking the medications, and now she's hardly had any issues. I mean,
Well, they
she's
gotta-
it's
Some
way better.
doctors, they're like cops. You got good cops and bad cops, and you got good doctors and bad doctors. I know some very good doctors, and I advocate for them. I also
count
know
on
some
one hand.
doctors that like to play God, and I'm like, I don't advocate for them.
I also agree. God damn it. Fuck off.
All right, fine. Bye.
No, not you. No, it's Creature. She's.
Creature. That what her name is?
Yeah,
Is that
that's.
what you named them?
Well, okay, so my first hairless cat was named Dobby. You know, one of the
Oh, I see.
elves from Harry Potter. And then, like,
Yeah.
the next one was
Cool.
Creature, also an elf from Harry. Yeah, I'm not unalive or anything. It's cool. Just fuck me up. It's
She's like, look at my ass, bitch.
Totally not live. This is a figment of you. You know, everybody must be on the shrooms. This
That's
is
right.
a figment of
I
your
wish.
imagination.
So does
You're
anybody
not live.
have, on a good note, does anybody have, first of all, everybody needs to go to Rumble. And you need to subscribe.
I
Rumble.
also, just for the record, say that I apologize if I offended anyone. I was not trying to offend
You don't
anyone.
offend anybody here. Are you not?
I just,
do you
well,
not
no, I just
understand
wanted
this
to give
channel?
my
But
perspective.
we have class. There's the thing. We say
Well, I'm
fucking
glad,
shit
and
goddamn,
I'm
but
also
And we
open to. I just,
Nobody's offended.
I don't.
Nobody-
Okay, as long
You're
as
good.
no one is offended, that makes me
Nobody's
happy because
hold on.
I
We're
feel
gonna
like I
bring
live
up-
my life PC, and I came here and Creature, come on! I'm trying to apologize to people. Fuck off. So, I can also understand other people's perspective. Fuck off. Perspective. While having my own beliefs, but I do feel like I'm a person. So if anyone is needing me for help, whether it's with insurance or whatever, come to me. I'm
Oh.
here. I
I'm
will
going
fight
to
for
sign
you.
in, not publicly. Hold
Well,
on.
no, like I'm here to. I'm anyone who needs
No,
help to
that's
fight against
I didn't
insurance.
realize y'all didn't see that. No, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Continue with what you were saying.
No, the only thing I was saying is like if you're having if you're having trouble fighting insurance and not getting what you need, reach out to me because writing letters is my shit and I have proof. I literally got a child into a major research study and it was supposed to be written by the provider, but I had to write it because my provider was shit. But anyway, I'm here to fight for the people. I don't care if you have insurance or if you don't have insurance. I'm here to write a letter. I feel like everyone deserves basic health care, and anything less than that is bullshit. And if you need me, use me. Use me.
I'm not gonna use you. I don't even know you.
I don't care. Use me. I'll write a letter.
No, we'll link up. We'll talk more in depth.
I'll write a letter and I guarantee whatever it is medically that you're needing, I guarantee I'll get it for you. $10.
I don't want you to be condescending. Can you do that with that stipulation?
No, just $10. Either I get it for you or I don't.
Listen,
$10.
you don't fuck with the people who cook you food. You don't talk nasty to the people that cut
I
you
cook
open.
my own food.
You know, you're gonna be at the OR. Well, that's a different story. Depends.
I'm
Don't
just
go
saying
to
I'm
that
here to
back
help you.
room
If you want my
to the
help,
OR.
then use it.
They'll sew your hands to your feet.
And
think
if
it's
I
funny.
don't get it
There.
for you, then I owe you $10. And I also
know.
cooked my own food.
I don't know if that'll work, but I just posted the link for one of our videos on Rumble. So y'all.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to share
So-
screen here. What the hell's going
Wait,
on?
what is Rumble? I'm confused.
Rumble is
You-
just like YouTube, but Wojcicki doesn't fucking ban our shit.
It's with the right side instead of the left side, so they don't fucking censor all our shit. It's called
right
Rumble.
here.
Go do it
Fucking
and check it
share.
out.
Are you allowing me to share? There we go. Yank and Gutter on Rumble. You're gonna watch me subscribe. You see this? You make your
See?
this. Well, you could get that off the other shit.
Yeah. Anyways, it's here though. That's where it's at.
Rumble.com. Yank and Gutter.
Yep.
Should I hop off so other people can hop on? Is that a thing? I
Oh
don't know how it
no,
works.
nobody's bothering. I should probably get ready to go though. We've already been on 3.5 hours, so.
I don't know
Yeah,
how
there's
this
been
works.
you know what, this has been a very interesting episode of it, and the girls really rocked it. That's why I tried to step away after a minute. I was like, I wanted to let all you girls go. This was
I will say though that like if you do have questions, and I don't mean like in a political like back and forth way, like I want to help you. I want to help you cheat the system because that is my main goal is I always cheat the system. So if you want to hear from me to help cheat the system or I can help write letters, whatever, just reach out to me. I'm more than willing to help. I mean, actually that's like my wheelhouse. So please do.
no doubt, and I will have something for you, but I'm not gonna say that on the live. Nothing dirty. Listen, Gutter, nothing like that. Amanda's sitting right here. I'll get bopped upside the head. But not some definitely recommendations towards the current certain things to keep people.
Yeah, I mean
healthy.
referrals, recommendations,
Yeah,
cheat
without a doubt.
codes. I mean, like if I have to
Especially
do a
because,
PA
you know,
to
the
get
coof
like
took over everything.
even if it's like an MRI and I have to do like a PA.
But I'm gonna run.
prior
I'm gonna let
authorization,
y'all
whatever.
have some fun. Yank, love you, brother. Gutter, look at you. Didn't mean to bombard your
We're getting
live,
it.
but it was fun.
Yep, we got it.
And I'll catch
This
you
has
all
gotten
later.
interesting. It sure has gotten interesting. But I think we're about ready to close it up for the night, just because it's already
Aw,
8:30.
I hope it wasn't interesting just because we
so-
had like butted heads for a minute.
Oh no!
Nobody
You're
butted
fine.
heads. Hell no,
We
this is about
usually
free
only
speech.
go 3 hours.
I'm looking
so-
at the time, and it's 3:30, and I didn't want to eat up any more of their time, your time. You know, I want to let y'all fucking hang out a bit. I'm a
So-
bit intrusive at this
I'm
point.
going to bed after this.
So Amanda, the website, you can either download the app or you can just go to the website. The app's easier, but you can also just go to the Rumble website and find it there. It's just Yank and Gutter, but there's no dashes. So it all has to be
So
one
just
word.
like Yank and Gutter, and then
Yeah. And the capitalizations are Yank and the N and then
well, if
the
I
G.
have any issues, I'll just comment on this, like,
Yeah.
like once it's live
I'm
and you
gonna
can
comment
I'll
right
just be
now.
like,
You
oh, help.
watching through YouTube?
And then I'll do that because no, like I literally I'm here for the people. I don't ever lose a case. That's why I think I should have been a lawyer, because I've never lost a case. So
be careful.
know,
If that's what you're saying, if you ever lose a case, you're gonna lose your fucking sales pitch. So,
well,
as
there's
somebody who
always a first for
studied law,
everything.
don't
There's always a
ride that
first for
as your
everything, but I'm willing to
coattail.
try.
You want to say how you advocate for people.
It might take me 9 months. It might, because that's my longest one ever.
If
It
you
might
ever
take me 9
lost a
months.
fucking case, you would lose that sales pitch.
Okay, Ashley, Rumble is an app, but you can also just go to the website. So it's an app. If you notice up here, it shows you this is basically where it's at. But you'll notice how Yank and Gutter is spelled, how it's all one word and it's all together like that.
They're also gonna do Odyssey.
Well, I haven't done
And-
Odyssey, and I don't know if I will. We'll see. I'm fucking barely.
Odyssey is so easy, and they could pay you in crypto.
Oh,
And-
how do I give my number to you so you can call me so we can talk about like insurance stuff, like on the download? Like obviously this
Ain't gonna
isn't
happen
for-
on live.
Yeah, just what you can do is go to his. Well, give her your email, Bobby. Do it that way.
I'm not putting that on the live. You can.
What if I put? Okay, like maybe I can put. All right, so
You have your own channel, right?
I mean, I've never posted any videos. I said
Bobby
all right,
has.
All right, so hold on.
Well, you got the channel email. That's a safe
Thank
one.
you,
'cause
Ash.
it's linked to the whole channel. I mean, my name is on my shit. You could look up my channel. It's literally there.
Email, right?
Oh, you could do Facebook Messenger too. Ash pointed out.
Oh
Was this
shit! You're
channel?
giving my ex.
Oh,
some
here we
things
go.
to-
If any of you cocksuckers
Thank you,
report me
Jen.
on Facebook, my
All right. Well, my name is
Facebook
Amanda
is,
Willis. So if you
quote,
find me,
Bobby
then
Box.
if you, I live in.
Or
it's
Bob
Hutto, but Hutto,
Box.
Texas. But no, if you send me a message, then I can
I
talk to
put
you.
it in the. I put it in the
Do
chat.
you two even hear each other talking? I'm just
Yes,
fucking
she
curious.
was talking about giving.
So you just go ahead and talk. You know what it reminds me of? This fucking lawyer's office I worked in. And they constantly talked over each other.
Who's speaking
Fucking
right
drives
now?
me
Who is that?
insane.
You know, I wish Gotta Go would talk on our goddamn live stream. I don't know who that is, but Gotta has been awfully quiet lately.
You guys are talking over each other. You
not
both are
see the
doing it.
screen I'm sharing right now? Oh my goodness.
When I
Just
say,
telling
like,
you.
I can get anything covered for you.
Amanda, you're so cute. I just love you.
The screen
No,
I'm
I mean
covering
it.
is
I mean it.
I know you do.
infinite.
I mean it. Like I have.
We love you.
I
Jen.
have a winning streak. I'm not gonna let something pull me under.
I just showed
So-
you everything you need to know to subscribe to Rumble. I love you, girls.
Exactly.
Y'all fucking finish your chats. Gotta go. Happy Tuesday.
Yes.
Amanda,
happy Tuesday.
pleasure to meet
Tuesday.
you. This Amanda's gonna beat my ass. I gotta go. That whip is whipping, and
She's
I'm happy to
going.
oblige.
That's right.
Well, tell the first Amanda I said hello, and also goodbye. I'm the
All
second
right.
Amanda. I'm the
Yes.
second.
You're both Amandas. Relax.
Yeah, but
There's
I'm the
no
second
ranking
best. I'm the
system.
second
Love
one.
you.
I'm the
Love
second
you.
best.
Gotta
It's
go.
cool.
Bye, Julie. Bye, Amanda.
Yes.
We'll catch up on another time. The rest of yous in the
Later.
chat, I see we got Fly Crew, Gen G, AZ, Bobby's me,
Ashley.
Ashley, Andy.
Easy.
Y'all fucking have a wonderful night. And you guys take it from here. And
And
well,
Nettie
I'll see
already
you
went.
next Tuesday.
All right. See, and
won't
we'll
be
see you at Rick's,
222.
I'm sure. Yes, and at
Absolutely.
Bobby's.
Have a good night, yo.
All right. We'll see you at Bobby's live too. Good night,
Oh
Bobby.
shit! No way. You gonna do that?
Well, I'm sure if you have a live, I usually
Oh
try
my-
to make it.
I'm honored. I'm fans of yours. You can't be fans of mine back. That's just crazy.
Is it? I don't know. I thought that's how it was supposed to work, but
I'm humbled. I'm much obliged. Y'all have a wonderful night. Pleasure.
Good night, Bobby.
Bye bye, y'all.
Good night. All right. We are out of here. Love you guys, and y'all have a great night. And we will see you on Rick's Live or Bobby's Live or whichever one y'all show up to, or on ours next Tuesday.
Amen.
All right. Yep. Jen G said she loves Bobby's lives too. So, all right.
Aw.
And thanks so much for coming on, and make sure you come again.
Well, I'm sorry I disrupted it all. I
No,
took
no,
it from
you're
one
fine.
level to another.
You were fine. We did good.
All right. Well, have a good night.
You too. Good night.
Bye.
Good night, AZ. Good night. All right. Good night, everybody. You have a great night, and we will see you next either Saturday or Bobby's Live or mine or ours. Talk to you later. Good night. Thank you all for coming and supporting us. You rock. Bye. Jen's lips.